You're listening to Eagle 102 KJFM Louisiana Bowling Green, 102.1 on your dial. KJFM Radio, Eagle 102. Area high school basketball is on the air. Every week, Eagle 102 brings you the best of area high school sports. On air at 102.1, online at kjfmradio.com, and on the KJFM radio app. Now to the court for high school basketball on your area sports leader, KJFM Radio.
Well, it's the final night of regular season here on Eagle 102. Of course, for Class 2 and Class 3, we'll have Bowling Green Lady Bobcats visiting the Clopton Lady Hawks. All that action for you coming up next with the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show as you're listening to area high school basketball on Eagle 102.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Some never even fill their prescription, even if they don't feel well. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, your local Health Mart pharmacy is here to help. For fast, friendly service and affordable prices every day, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Show off your school pride today with the Bulldog debit card from Bank of Louisiana. Every time you use your Bulldog debit card, Bank of Louisiana will make a donation to the Louisiana School District. Stop by the bank today and get your new Bulldog debit card so you can start supporting the teachers and students with every swipe. The Bulldog debit card from Bank of Louisiana. Member FDIC.
Bowling Green Insurance is here to serve all your insurance needs. Bowling Green Insurance offers companies to cover your farm, home, auto, and crop needs. Give Bowling Green Insurance a call today to get a quote. 573-324-CROP.
Bringing you all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth. Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
It's time now for the Eagle 102 pregame show, sponsored by Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Marian Everhart, Bobby Spoonster in with you on this Friday night. Good news, Bobby. First of all, school for some schools for the second day in a row. Unfortunately, for other schools, they're still doing a little remote learning. But either way, it's our second night of basketball.
Right, and that's a plus, especially coming down the stretch. I know everybody in this gym, especially the coaches and players, want to be playing going in the next week.
And I noticed that a lot of people started carrying in gifts. Do you think they're bringing us gifts this evening?
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. We should let you know that it is senior night tonight. So between the varsity girls and varsity boys games, they will be recognizing the seniors here at Clopton. Let's talk basketball, Bobby. These are two teams that you're very familiar with the program. Kind of been around long enough that I'm kind of familiar with the program. But it's a game tonight that, last night, I think some of us were a little shocked that Van Far couldn't quite come out and find their stride last night. And, Clopton basically ran away with the basketball game. They scored first and never looked back. Tonight could be a little bit of a different story, mainly because down low, Kerrigan Lockard, Logan Hall, Mary Margaret Garrett, they're going to have a little bit more competition, and that's going to come in the way of Kinley Charlton and Grace Twellman.
Correct. And I think that those kids athletically, cause some issues, and I think we've all talked before if Lockard foul prone and she gets in some foul trouble, that could be cause some problems for the Hawks. And right now I think every coach is every minute they don't really know what to get with their teams. They haven't really for 2 weeks seen them on a consistent basis, so I think it's everybody's kind of wondering what team's going to show up tonight.
Yeah, well, and that is the unfortunate thing. We talked about it, Jim Ross and I did last night. Even when it came to district seedings, it's hard to know how to seed anybody because you don't know who's healthy, who's had players out, what schedules they've actually played, when they played those schedules, who those opponents had in and out. So it's kind of a toss-up right now. And going into districts, which actually starts tomorrow for Class 2 and Class 3, it could be a flip of a coin at times.
I think you're right. I think there's going to be people get upset you don't expect, and especially with the 2 weeks of, some teams may not have practiced. I know Van Far had a few days off before they just went right into a game last night, so that makes a big difference down the stretch. I know most coaches want to be in the gym as much as they can, toward the playoffs, but obviously weather has not helped us in that regard.
Well, and on that fact, I was talking to Bowling Green coach Jared Runyon before the game, and he said, man, he really had hoped that they were going to have have a game last night because they're going to come into tonight cold against Clopton, and you know that they probably watched or listened to the game last night and saw how Van Far fared coming in cold. So they're going to have to do some things. And one of the key players that we're going to look to for the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats this evening is the ball handler, Gracie Dieters.
Absolutely. She's going to kind of be the one that trying to make them go, and if she can handle the pressure and get through the traps and the full court press, half court traps, whatever Clopton's going to throw at them, that'll help them be able to stay in the ball game. But if she struggles with that early in the game, you probably see Clopton be pretty happy to see that happen.
Well, we were talking about the pressure, and some of that comes from a younger player for the Clopton Lady Hawks, and Madeline Bruni. She has kind of stepped up this year and become the steel queen.
She is. She anticipates the ball extremely well. Maybe one of the better ones in the area. She's always got her nose for the ball. She's not afraid to get on the floor and mix it up. She's a blue collar work ethic kind of kid, and I enjoy watching her play.
And one of the other scrappy ones you're going to have to watch for, or she'll have to watch for this evening, is the freshman Brea Smith. I don't know that her dad, Coach Craig Smith, had anything to do with her development because she seems to be doing really well.
Brea, as you watched her this season, early on to now, she's made great gains and just her ability on the floor and her awareness and just understanding her role and where she fits, and she brings a ton of energy, like you said, and she really has improved as the season has went on.
All right, let's take a quick break here on the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show. We'll be back with your keys to the game next here on Eagle 102.
Daily life is a bit different right now than what we're used to. Some are feeling the effects more than others, but let's remember that this too shall pass and try to find ways to keep positive, help others in need, continue to support our businesses as best we can, but also take this time of distancing and shutdowns to self-reflect and improve. Spend quality time with family, exercise, pray, tackle a home improvement project, even if it's just a power cleaning inside and out, but do something that helps you feel empowered and moving forward. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, praying for good to come out of trials.
Pike County, Missouri Health Department is accepting appointments for upcoming COVID vaccination clinics. Appointments can be made online at www.pikecountyhealth.org or by calling our office at 573-324-2111. These will be on a first-come, first-served basis. This upcoming clinic is scheduled for Wednesday, February 24th at the Bowling Green Church of the Nazarene.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Some never even fill their prescription, even if they don't feel well. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, your local Health Mart pharmacy is here to help. For fast, friendly service and affordable prices every day, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Time now for the Eagle 102 Keys to the Game on KJFM, sponsored by Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate in Louisiana.
I know people are surprised, Bobby, when you and I have to talk, and we have to talk basketball. It's like it's a big shock to folks out there. Keys to the game tonight. You have coached on both of these benches, and I don't know if that's congratulations. You've coached on both of these benches, or,
right.
Man, I'm sorry, you've coached on both of these benches. So if you're the Lady Hawks tonight, what are you looking to do? What's the keys for the Hawks tonight?
I think for them it's just to come in and be consistent. For them, they're upper class led team. They're postseason, tested. They're a group of kids that, they have aspirations of doing some things down the road. They just need to go in tonight, take care of the basketball, do all the little things right, work on the things that Coach Street wants them to be prepared for. Obviously, his district starts next week, and just do the little things right, and I think things will work out for them.
And I tell you what, we've talked about it time and time again. She knows we give her a hard time about it, but I kind of feel like it's almost one of those things that you have to say at every game. Kerrigan Lockridge, you're going to have to stay out of foul trouble.
Absolutely, and this team goes as she goes. When Kerrigan comes out early on in the game and she kind of asserts her will on the game offensively, everybody else kind of falls into place, and they're a totally different basketball team. And
tonight I'm also going to throw one other player kind of under the bus with that same thing, and that's Taylor Akers. She is quite the ball handler and has done a great job this year for the Clopton Lady Hawks. There's been a couple games that she's gotten a little bit of foul trouble, and by a little bit she may have 2 or 3 before halftime, and she normally manages to stay in, but that's one that, Bowling Green has an aggressive type of defense, and you're going to have to make sure you stay out of foul trouble.
Absolutely, and the game changes for Clopton when she goes to the bench because they just don't really have a natural point guard at that point, and it's kind of by committee. So when Taylor has to go to the bench, things look a lot different for them as well.
All right, if you're the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats, how do you beat the Lady Hawks tonight?
I think for them, that their mindset's got to be going into this is, hey, you know what, we're young, we don't have as much experience. It's our really first go at Clopton with a new coach. I think that they're going to go out and say, hey, these are the things that we need to work on. We're building a program going forward. Hey, these are the things. I think they got to take care of the basketball, number one. They're going to have to rebound the basketball to eliminate the amount of runouts Clopton can get to get easy buckets. They're going to need to try to make them play long into possession to try to keep the score as low as possible. And
really, we talked about them a little earlier on in the pregame show. Grace Twellman, Kinley Charlton going to have to be strong underneath the basket tonight.
Absolutely, and they're going to have to, like I said, rebound the basketball to eliminate those quick runouts. And Clopton's a team that you can look up in 1 minute and be down 2, and then 45 seconds later you're down 10 and calling a timeout, and you don't want that to happen.
And I would like to throw this out here. We caught the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats as they opened things up over at the Montgomery County Invitational Tournament. We can't say, I think almost everybody would say that first game was not one that they would like to see on the record, but either way, it happened. And I will tell you, I've been very impressed with the growth that the Lady Bobcats have had here this season, especially with the new coach.
Absolutely. I think Coach Runyon's done a great job with these kids, and like I said, they're very young and inexperienced, and they had some quite a few lumps in those first 3-4 weeks of the season. As by the time Bowling Green tournament, you saw these kids start playing a whole lot better, and it's unfortunate they've had 2 weeks off where they haven't really played a whole lot, but I think he has a lot to build on going forward.
All right, that's going to take care of the keys to the game. We've got your starting lineups and opening tip next here on Eagle 102.
This is Kyle Schurter, Assistant Vice President at Community State Bank of Missouri. We offer a variety of loans to meet your needs. Whether you're looking for a conventional loan or a HELOC or an FHA, VA, or USDA loan, give us a call. We have some of the best rates around. Community State Bank of Missouri, your hometown community bank since 1887, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
With winter weather upon us, remember One Multi-Sports Complex in Bowling Green is your warm, dry place to get your softball and baseball work in. Call Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green to schedule your appointment and inquire about memberships. One Multi-Sports Complex, just off VFW Road in Bowling Green.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Some never even fill their prescription, even if they don't feel well. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, your local Health Mart pharmacy is here to help. For fast, friendly service and affordable prices every day, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
The Eagle 102 starting lineups on KJFM are sponsored by Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy.
All right, let's give you the starting lineups for the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats this evening. They're starting a 5'4" junior wearing number 3, Briley Sparks. A 5'5" sophomore wearing number 10, Gracie Dieters. A 5'8" junior wearing number 12, Grace Twellman. A 5'7" senior wearing number 23, Haley Chandler. And a 5'8" freshman wearing number 25, Kaylin Charlton. And I noticed that the Clopton Lady Hawks went to their bench real quick, so I guess they're going to be in my view here too. So I'll give them a hard time about interrupting my view here in a minute. They are starting this evening a 5'2" senior wearing number 11, Taylor Akers. A 5'6" sophomore wearing number 24, Shanna Yates. A 5'5" sophomore wearing number 33, Madeline Bruni. And a 5'10" senior wearing number 35, Kerrigan Lockard. And a 5'7" senior wearing number 40, Logan Hall. And I think probably, Bobby, you and I, we've hit it a couple different times, but I think it's really pointed out there during those lineups. You're starting 3 seniors for Clopton and 1 senior for Bowling Green.
Yeah, and I think that's something you're going to have to watch. And I was impressed when I watched this Bowling Green group play in the Bowling Green tournament. I thought that they made a lot of strides from the games early in the year that I saw. And I think you're going to continue to see that growth. And I think as down the road in the next few years, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Oh, I agree, especially when some of these younger ones step up. And really, again, I talked about it a minute ago, they're more aggressive than maybe people give them credit for.
Absolutely. And I think that's something you can take away from Coach Runyon's style. I mean, he's gonna get up and get after people, and doesn't matter who they are playing. That's his style, and that's what they're going to do.
They're introducing the starting lineups now, so let's go over them for you again for the Bowling Green Bobcats, who are on the road team tonight, and they're road blacks with white numbers and red trim. Briley Sparks, she wears number 3, number 10, Gracie Dieters, number 12, Grace Twellman, number 23, Haley Chandler, and number 25, Kaylin Charlton. So again, I cheat. I know that her name on my sheet is listed as Grace Dieters, but she will always be Gracie or Mighty Mouse. For the Lady Hawks, they're in their home white jerseys, black numbers with red trims. Taylor Akers wears number 11, Shanny Yates number 24, number 33, Madeline Bruni, number 35, Kerrigan Lockard, and number 40, Logan Hall. So officials this evening getting ready. We saw Mark Butler over here last night. Got Mark Bross, and I don't know the gentleman in the glasses, the other one, the one that's not Mark Butler.
Yeah, I don't know those either.
I thought I knew them all. We are ready for high school basketball. We have boys action for you a little bit later this evening. Jim Ross will be joining us. Clopton will be moving from our left to right, if Bobby and I can keep things straight this evening. Lord help everybody, right?
That's right. That's right.
Lockard jumping center against Charlton.
Looks like Bowling Green's conceded the tip.
Well, are sure? So Clopton has it. They get it into Akers. Akers brings it across the timeline. Zone defense from the Bobcats. Get in the near corner with it to Bruni. Bruni down low to Hall, out to Yates. Yates' three's off the mark. It's no good. Chasing down loose basketball. Dieters chased it in. She threw it back into Chandler. I feel like it's awful quiet in here for this being this game. Dieters with the basketball over to Twellman. Twellman swings it to Charlton in man-to-man defense from the Hawks. Charlton looks it around. Bounce pass to Chandler. It's taken away in there. We talked about Bruni and her quick hands. She gets the first steal of the night, hands it off to Akers. Akers pulls up near side with it now to Yates at the end of Bowling Green's bench. Lobs in the short corner to Hall. Back out to Yates. Yates eyes a three. First one's on the way. It's off the rim. No good. Chasing down the loose rebound is Bruni. Bruni back up top with it to Yates. Yates swings it to Bruni. Bruni looks inside for Akers. Nothing there. Finds Lockard in the paint. She kicks it back out to Yates. Still a zone type of defense from the Bobcats. They get to Hall out to Bruni. She thought about it. She's going to double dribble. I don't think she realized how that happened when she knocked it down with her hands on the pass.
You talked about how quiet it is. I've been a part of a few games that hasn't been very quiet when Bowling Green and Clopton have played each other.
That's why I assumed it'd be a little bit louder. We talked about full court press from the Hawks, but the Bobcats have no problem breaking it as Grace Twellman brings it in the front corner. They get her in a trap, now back up top with it to Dieters. Dieters between the circles, brings it near side, looks, finds Sparks on the wing. Sparks in the middle of Clopton's bench, looks inside, bounce pass to Twellman, back out to Chandler. Her shot's off the mark, no good, and it's Dieters who gets the loose basketball. Her shot's up, no good. Tips it around. Lockard saves it from going out of bounds. Now she turns it over and ends up in the hands of Charlton. That shot's deflected, and finally it's going to come down to the hands of Logan Hall. Not a very pretty possession for either team. So Yates with the basketball. She stands up between the scorer's table and the bench, skips it over to Bruni. Bruni down low to Lockard, over to Hall. Hall shots up and good. Clopton scores first, 2-0 as we were just getting started. 6:07 to go in the first quarter. With the basketball. And we've got another timeout as Bowling Green was about to get the 10-second call, so we'll take a timeout as well. 6 minutes even to go here in the first quarter. Clopton leads Bowling Green 2-0. You're listening to Conference Basketball on Eagle 102.
Is it time to renew, redo, or rebuild? I'm Christine Rutherford, and we have loans designed specifically for repairs and renovations, along with home equity lines of credit. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender, MLO number 421603, NMLS number 407724.
High school sports on KJFM is brought to you by Abel's Quick Shops, Mike's Tire and Service Center, and All Parts.
As we come out of the timeout, again, Clopton leads Bowling Green by the score of 2-0. We've played 2 minutes here in the first quarter. It'll be Bowling Green's basketball, and the pressure from the full court defense from the Hawks kind of got a little bit to the Bobcats.
Yeah, they're going to have to get somebody in the middle of the floor if they're going to try to, and here they go right there. On cue, they got somebody in the middle of the basketball floor to break that pressure.
And that was Grace Twellman. She hands it back off to Dieters. Dieters takes in the paint. Her shot's off the glass. It's tipped around. Hall comes away with the rebound. She feeds it out to Lockard. Lockard throws it up to Bruni. Bruni takes it all the way down, and Haley Chandler will pick up her first foul of the night.
No, right there, they get a quick rebound. It takes one dribble, outlet pass to past half court, and they're at the rim, and they pick up a foul.
So Yates has the inbound honors along the baseline on the near side. She looks, waits for the offense to move, gets it into Bruni. Bruni on the near wing in the middle of Bowling Green's bench, puts the ball on the court, now up top with it to Akers. Akers takes it to the free throw line, kicks it to Lockard on the far wing. Lockard drives the baseline down the block, and there's another foul. And they're calling that one on Twellman. And that'll be her first, team second. So now Akers gets it into Lockard on the far side, swings it up top to Yates. Yates looks back in the far corner to Akers. They lob it down low inside to Lockard. She's in some trouble and throws it away. With it is Sparks. Sparks has the basketball. She's going to hand it back to Dieters. Dieters will bring it across the timeline. She holds up the sign for the LadyCats. Brings it near side to Sparks. Sparks looks inside, finds Twellman, kicks it to Chandler. Chandler shots off the rim. It's no good. Come flying in for the rebound is Dieters. Her shot's up. It's no good, but she's going to the free throw line, and I believe that's Kerrigan Lockard picking up her first foul.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed, and I know the score's 2-0, and you're looking at it, but Bowling Green has won every hustle play so far in the game. It started with Gracie Dieters going out of bounds and throwing it back in. That's something that to watch as this game goes on.
First free throw shot is up and off the back of the rim. So we have some substitutions coming in. Avery Gam coming in the basketball game along with Kaylin Womack. She's checking in for Chandler and Sparks. Second of two from Dieters on the way. This one's nothing but net. It's a 2-1 basketball game. With it is Akers. Akers brings it across the timeline. Brings it to the near corner with it to Bruni. Bruni back inside at the elbow to Lockard. Lockard takes it to the hole. Count the bucket and the foul. So Kerrigan Lockard picks up her first 2 points of the night. And picking up the foul is going to be Womack, who just checked in. Brea Smith coming in now for Shanna Yates. So Lockard stands at the free throw line. She'll try for the old-fashioned three-point play as she dribbles the basketball, shot up, and it's net. 5-1 is our score, 4:58 to go here in the first. Dieters with the basketball. Again, she's working against the press of Clopton, and they throw a long pass into the backcourt. Hall picks it up, gives it off to Lockard. Lockard will bring it across the timeline, top of the key. Looks, finds Akers heading to the paint. Her shot's up and no good, but she's going to draw the foul. She's going to go to the free throw line. So Taylor Akers will head to the charity stripe. And that's Grace Twellman picking up her second foul, and they don't need her in foul trouble.
No. They're going to stay in this game very long. She's going to have to play.
Akers' first free throw shot is up and good. Make it a 6-1 basketball game.
It looks like, the 1-2-2 three-quarter court trap that they've got out there is really causing them some issues. Everybody's kind of standing around and just watching Gracie dribble the basketball at this moment.
They are. Second free throw shot is good as well. It's a 7-1 basketball game, 4:43 to go here in the first. Twellman comes out. Sparks comes back into the basketball game. It'll be Charlton to inbound it. They get it to Gam. Gam back to Dieters. Dieters takes it to the far side, throws it into the front court to Sparks. Sparks on the wing, avoiding the trap, gets it to Dieters. Long three flies, and it's money. Gracie Dieters knocks down the first tray of the night. And now coming back the other direction with it is Akers. Akers gets it to Lockard. Inside to Hall. Hall loses the handle, and she's going to turn it over.
That's one thing that I thought he did a really good job of in the tournament. He did that right there. They made a bucket and changed the defense they were on and gave them a different look. And I think Clopton thought they were going to be in man, and they come down in a 2-3 zone.
So Charlton gets it in again to Dieters. Dieters over on the far side, back to Charlton. Charlton dribbles up, and she's going to travel. Turnovers are something both teams will be working on, I'm sure, or be definitely discussing in the locker room at halftime. As Bruni will inbound the basketball in the middle of Bowling Green's bench. Waits for her offense to move. They get it into Akers. Akers, near corner with it to Bruni. Bruni back to Akers. She's behind the arc. She wants a three. It's off the mark. It bounces around, and Charlton pulls down the rebound. Charlton looking for somebody to feed it to. They finally find Gam. Gam back to Dieters. Dieters will bring it across the timeline for the Cats. Works it between the circles, over to the far wing to Charlton. Charlton puts the ball on the court, dribbles around, takes it down to block extended. Lockard trying not to pick up her second foul because she knows we're going to give her trouble. But
great cut.
Great cut from Sparks. Her shot's up off the glass. It's no good, but Avery Gam chases down the loose basketball. Feeds it back out to Dieters. Sparks again. She's going to take it into the paint. And we've got another, they're going to call an offensive foul on Gracie Dieters. Checking in the basketball game now is Isabella Fairchild for the LadyCats. As Charlton to get a breather. So Akers walks it down the court. Now she picks up the pace, brings it across the timeline. 7-4 score, 3:30 to go here in the first. Lockard with it, top of the key, bounces around, brings it to the near side, kicks it to Bruni. Bruni takes it into the paint, and she's going to be fouled. And they're going to call that on Sparks, and that is the 6th team foul, and we still have 3:24 to go here in the first quarter. The LadyCats are going to have to move their feet.
Yeah, and there's really no arguing that it's a foul. I mean, they got their hands all over them.
So with it again is Bruni. She's looking to inbound. They get it at top to Lockard. Lockard in the paint. Her shot's blocked from Womack. It's loose. Finally coming away with it is Fairchild. They get it out to Dieters, who was right back in this basketball game. She holds up 5, moves it around, brings it near side to Gam. Into the paint to Dieters. She spins on the block. Her shots rolls around. It's no good. Ball's loose. Coming away with it, that was Womack. Bowling Green saves it again, or they attempt to save it as Gam steps on the out-of-bounds line. Still great effort there. Great hustle by the Cats. Chandler and Charlton checking back in. Logan Hall returning the ball game. Brea Smith checked in at some point. So with an Akers is like, hey, I can't throw the ball into myself. So here comes Brea. She gets it back in there. Now they're going to take it across the timeline. 7-4 our score, just under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Hawks on top by 3. Lockard over to Smith. Her shot was partially blocked. Excuse me, that's Garrett that's in the game. And now to Dieters. Buckets aren't falling for either team so far tonight as Charlton has it at the elbow on the far side. She takes it in the paint. Between the trees, she gets her own loose basketball, puts it back, no good, but Womack's there for the putback. It's no good. Finally coming away at the basketball is Lockard. She feeds it out to Akers. Akers to Garrett. With it to Bruni. Back to I did it again, to Akers. Her shot's up, it's no good. Ball's loose, going to roll out of bounds. Last touch by Bowling Green. I tell you what.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know how you get those two mixed up.
I have no idea how I get them mixed up. No idea at all. Do not know why. Have never done it in the other 3 years that they've played. I don't know why I'm doing it this year. Akers with it, hands it off to Lockard, and it's kicked. And it's going to roll into the backcourt, going to go out of bounds, and they will say it's last touch by Clopton. It even got bad enough that I did create a little meme for Taylor Akers that we kind of got a photo of her at the Bowling Green tournament where she's kind of like holding her hands up, kind of confused. And she's like, I don't even know my name. Marion keeps calling me by the wrong one. Is it Akers or Lockard? I don't even know. And I'd done so good. I'd stopped, and apparently right back to it. So basketball is going to be the LadyCats in the middle of Clopton's bench this time. They get it right into Gam. Gam back to Sparks, back between the circles to Dieters. Dieters skips it far side to Charlton. Charlton over on the wing being guarded by Lockard. In this man-to-man defense, they find Chandler up top. Chandler between the circles dishes it off to Gam, and that's taken by Smith. Smith's going to take it down for the layup, and she's going to go to the free throw line as Grace Dieters picks up her second foul here of the first quarter. 1:54 to go here in the first. Clopton has the lead by 3. They've led by as many as 6 as Brea Smith heads to the charity stripe. And that is the 7th team foul, so Clopton will be shooting free throws the rest of the first half.
They got to be pretty happy about that.
If they make them.
True.
First free throw shot's up and good.
You know, one thing that I've noticed so far in this game is Bowling Green has been able to set the tempo of how they want to play the game. They're slowing it down, which is how they're going to be able to stay in the ball game. Where Clopton wants to get out and run, they really haven't been able to get those opportunities.
8-4 is our score. First free throw shot was good. Second free throw shot on the way, and it bounces around. And it's also good. Make it 9-4. Here's that full court defense again from Clopton. They try to get Sparks in a trap, but no good as they get the ball in the hands of Dieters. Dieters brings it up at the half-court line. She loses it. It's going to go out of bounds. Saying last touch by, well, it's either Bruni or Akers. So Sparks will inbound the basketball. Sparks gets it right into Dieters. Dieters right down in front of us, right back to Sparks. Sparks going to take it all the way in the paint, and now it's taken away in there by Garrett. Garrett feeds it out to the far side, working around is Smith. Now into the hands of Lockard. Lockard's like, hey, if you're all just going to give it to me, I'm just going to go in.
Yeah.
And shot's up and good. I don't think even she understood why there was nobody there to guard her. And with the basketball is Dieters. Over to Gam. Gam takes it to the far side, picks up her dribble, back to Dieters. Dieters will bring it across the timeline in the near side to Charlton. Charlton to Dieters. Dieters stands at the head of Clopton's bench. Now Sparks between the circles. Sparks one dribble now over to Gam. Gam on the far wing, looks inside. They're looking for Chandler, now back up top to Sparks. Sparks goes into the paint. She's going to be fouled. Logan Hall set to check back in the basketball game as Bruni picks up her first foul. Second team foul. Logan Hall comes in for Lockard. Womack checks back in for Gam. Bowling Green will inbound the basketball underneath the basket as Dieters gets to throw it in on the near side. They find Womack up top at the elbow. She works around against Scarrett. Hands it off over to the far side to Dieters. Back up top to Sparks. Sparks going to travel.
Yep.
That extra step gets them every time. So Lockard's coming back into the basketball game now. She's going to come in for Garrett this time. As it's going to be Smith inbounding to Akers. Akers content to walk it across. Now she picks it up to a jog, swings it over the far side to Bruni. Bruni looks inside, nothing there, skips it near side to Smith. Smith back cross court to Bruni. Up top to Akers. Akers looks, still in his zone defense from Bowling Green. A three-point shot on the way from Bruni's no good. They're going to let the ball go out of bounds. Back to Bowling Green we go. Marge didn't want to stay seated very long, apparently, because she's going right back in. And Clopton back to a half-court defense. Bowling Green hasn't had much of trouble breaking it after the first couple trips. So Dieters across the timeline. She's guarded by Akers over the far side to Sparks. Sparks, one dribble back up top to Chandler. Chandler looks as they get it on the near side to Charlton. Charlton on the block. Shot up. It's no good. On the other side was Smith. Smith pushes it up on the sideline, tries to skip it to Bruni, and it's taken away. Back the other direction we're going. Here comes Dieters. Dieters, long shot on the way as time expires, and that is how the first quarter ends. Clopton has a lead, 11-4. We've got second quarter action coming your way next here on Eagle 102.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud.
Louisiana is a Health Mart town. Family Drug Health Mart Pharmacy. The right people, the right price, right downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hey, this is Ryan with Mid-America Auto and Towing in Bowling Green, and we've got the lot looking good and ready to go. We've got something for everybody's budget. We have a constant rotation of new inventory, including cars, trucks, and SUVs. So if you're out and you're looking for a new car, come by and see me. Mid-America Auto and Towing, just off Highway 54 in Bowling Green, is a one-stop shop. Like us on Facebook or check out our website, midamericaautoandtowing.com.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth. Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Well, Bobby, I'm not sure that quarter was what either coach would have liked to have seen because that wasn't very pretty.
No, it wasn't very pretty. And, I kind of thought there with about a minute to go, I thought Clopton was going to put one of those signature runs on to kind of extend this thing out to 10+, but just didn't quite come to fruition for them.
So Bowling Green has the ball to start the second quarter, down by 7, and they immediately turn it over. And they're going to throw a long pass up to Akers. Akers takes it up. It's no good. And Dieters with the basketball. Goes back the other direction. Finds Womack. Womack wants to run.
Move.
She takes it to the hole. It's no good. Gam with it now. Her shot's up. It's no good. Lockard comes away with it, and they kind of triple team her.
And honestly, if Coach is going to look back, Coach Rennie's going to look back at this first half and that first minute, they've probably missed 4 or 5 really easy layups that, obviously you make those, the game looks a lot different right now for them.
Absolutely. So Lockard back to the free throw line. Well, she'll get a 1-and-1 as that is the 8th team foul. The second on Womack. First free throw shot is up and good. She'll get a second. So Sparks comes back in for Womack. So with the basketball is Lockard at the charity stripe. Shot on the way, and it's also good. So 13-4 is our score. With the basketball is the Bobcats. Sparks trying to get it to Dieters. They finally get in her hands. Long throw it up to Charlton. It's tipped around. Ball's going to be loose, goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gam, they say, and so it's back to Clopton we go. So Bruni to inbound the basketball. She gets it in to Akers. Akers across the timeline. Brings it across. Now she holds up, looks for the call from Coach Street. Yates with it over on the far wing. Inside the paint to Bruni. Bruni kicks it to Hall. Hall from the elbow. Her shot's up and net. Makes it 15-4. We've got another timeout on the court. We'll take one as well. 15-4 is our score. 7:09 to go in the half. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
I'm Tylee Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from quality people. Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Eagle 102 Sports on KJFM is brought to you by Ingram Plumbing, Bowling Green Pharmacy, and Mid-America Auto and Towing.
So Bowling Green came out, got a little excitement there,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden turnovers got them right back, and they're down by 11.
Yeah, that's how quickly it can happen. Just boom. You turn the ball over a couple times, get a couple easy run-outs, make some free throws, and the score can go the other way in a hurry.
I was sitting here watching the Bowling Green cheerleaders, Bobby. I was like, where are the Clopton cheerleaders? But I forget that there is a game going on in the other gym. I don't know if they're there. But
I'm pretty sure it has to do with Little Cheer Night. I see a bunch of parents that have little kids that are be here for that.
So they're probably in the other room preparing the little cheerleaders, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I do want you to know that we do have JV games going on in the middle school gym tonight as well. So Bowling Green with the basketball, full court man-to-man defense from the Hawks, and Bruni immediately knocks it out of bounds. They try to feed it in to Gam. So they'll do it again. 7:08 to go here in the half. So Sparks this time looks to get it in. They get it into Dieters. Dieters trying to avoid the trap. Now back to Sparks. Sparks, one dribble back to Dieters. Dieters, here comes that trap. They throw a long pass up to Charlton. Charlton over on the far wing. Back to Dieters. Dieters takes in the paint. Her running one-handed shot's up. It's no good. Ball's loose. With the loose basketball is Akers. Akers pushes it up. Takes it over to the far wing. Works it around. Back up top of the key to Lockard. Lockard takes it in. Shots up and good for Lockard. 17-4 is our score. They get to Gam. With it is Dieters as they slow things down right now. Starts directing traffic, and that is Dieters. Brings it back near side to Sparks. Sparks looks for the screen. Gets it now into the hands of Fairchild. Fairchild looks into the paint to Gam. Back out to Charlton. Charlton all alone underneath the block, and she gets her first 2 bucket points of the night. And that is the first 2 points scored by the LadyCats here in the second quarter. Makes it 17-6. 6:05 to go here in the half. Akers brings it back near side. Finds Lockard top of the key. Puts the ball in the court, takes it in, loses a handle on it. We're headed back the other direction as Charlton hands it off to Dieters. Dieters slows it down. She'll be picked up by Akers when she crosses the timeline. Over to the far side to Charlton. Charlton on the wing looks, now bounce pass up to Fairchild. Fairchild waits for her offense to move, and back to Dieters. Dieters, long 3-ball on the way again. This time it's off the back of the rim. Charlton,
nice rebound.
Charlton there for the putback, and it's good. So Kaylin Charlton with a 4 now on the night makes it 17-8 with 5:20 to go here in the first half. Yates with the basketball, finds Lockard at the free throw line. Far wing to Bruni. Bruni shots up. It's off the mark. Logan Hall and Firechild fighting for the loose basketball, and it's finally going to go out of bounds, saying last touch by Hall. So Garrett coming back in for the Hawks. You got Womack, Chandler, and Twellman returning for Bowling Green. Here comes Smith. She's going to return as well.
This could be an interesting stretch. This is the first time Dieters has went to the bench, and they've struggled with the press with her on the floor. What would it look like with her on the bench here?
So Chandler right back to Sparks. Sparks working it, still in the backcourt. Throws it up to Womack. Womack in the front court working against Smith over on the far wing. They get her in a trap. She's in some trouble. trying to find some space, and now we've got another timeout. Coach Runyon calls it to avoid the 5-second call. We'll hear from some of our sponsors. 4:52 to go here in the half. Clopton leads Bowling Green 17-8. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Bundle at Pike County Mutual Insurance and save. Ask about the great rates on your personal vehicle, farm trucks, big or small, or even your motorcycle and side-by-sides. Stop by and see myself, Corey Buchanan, Buddy Bibb, or Kathy Gamm at your hometown insurance company since 1895. Pike County Mutual Insurance on the square in Bowling Green.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102 is brought to you by Community State Bank of Missouri, Family Drug, and Pike County Health Department, Home Health and Hospice.
Bobby, what do the LadyCats need to do here?
You need to take care of the basketball and make layups. They may take care of basketball and make layups here. This game's going to look a whole lot different than what it does right now. And, really you look up here, and as bad as they've really kind of played over the time to turn the ball over, they're only down 9.
So with it now is Twellman. Twellman bounce pass into Chandler at the elbow, down low to Womack, and Womack's going to travel. And I think that's just kind of what you were alluding to.
I mean, she was 2 feet away from the basket, and she just hesitated a second and turns it over right there, and she makes that bucket 17-10.
Well, and now returns Dieters as Avery Gamble take a seat. Akers with the basketball for the Lady Hawks. Across the timeline, brings it back between the circles. Hands it off to Smith. Smith to Lockard, and they're not passing the ball to each other well on this weave, and Lockard finds a hole. She finds the space, heads to the bucket. It's no good. With the rebound is Sparks. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Clopton. And that was not a sequence that Coach Street has to be happy with. I think it hit 3 legs in that one.
Right.
So Dieters, again, working against Akers in the backcourt. They throw it up, and there's a steal. And Bruni's going to travel.
Yep.
I tell you what, it was a nice thought there as Lockard knocked it away into the hands of Bruni. But then as Bruni was trying to take off, she got one extra step in there. So Dieters has it again in the backcourt. Akers trying to push her to the other side. She says, no way, I'm bringing it to this side. That I want to go all the way in. Down low to Womack. Womack shot off the glass, up and good. And Kaylin Womack with 2 and makes it a 17-10 game here as Akers brings it across the timeline for the Hawks. On the near side now finds Lockard. Lockard eyes a 3, and it's net. She likes those occasionally. Sometimes I wonder, I think last night I was like, she likes to shoot them from out there, and she didn't. Then she came back and shot one later in the game. Dieters throws it up to Sparks. Sparks over on the far side, bounce pass down low, and they're going to wave it off.
Call hold on Lockard.
He's holding up 35. I couldn't tell what he was doing. He was telling Kaylin Charlton she couldn't come in yet. So Lockard picks up her second foul. 3:42 to go in the half. Clopton leads by 10. They've led by as many as 11 as Dieters inbounds the basketball. Dieters looks, bounce pass inside to Charlton. Charlton shot short, gets her own putback. This time it's too hard. It's going to bounce around. It's going to go out of bounds. They say last touch by Bowling Green.
Well, just like that. I mean, she had 2 point-blank looks right there and just misses them both. Those go down, and I guess this game looks a whole lot different for both sides. And I think that Coach Street's probably going to address the fact that they're not rebounding the ball very well on the defensive end.
Well, we mentioned before, Charlton is a freshman. You get her another year or two, and you're not going to see those type of things.
No.
Over in the far corner with it is Lockard. She brings it to the elbow, down low to the block, and she just can't seem to. She must have butter on her fingers tonight. That's a couple. I think the second or third one that she's lost this evening as she goes into those trees and goes to pick up the basketball, and it slips right out of her hands. Twellman with it over on the far side. Gets it to Womack. Womack, a long 3 by Dieters again off the back of the rim. And Logan Hall comes in, gets the rebound, feeds it out to Smith. Smith will bring it across the timeline. She spins away from the defense. Now gets it in the hands of Akers over to the far wing to Lockard. She says she wants another 3, and she said she'll take that 3 again.
That's been a big plus to her game. I mean, it allows her to be able to drive the basketball more because she can stretch the defense now that she's able to consistently hit those threes. You got to defend it.
So Clopton's largest lead of the night now at 13 as Dieters takes it in. She goes in the paint, tries to bank it off. It's no good. Twellman there for the putback. It's no good, but she's headed to the charity stripe. Grace Twellman looking for her first points of the night. I was waiting to see, are they calling on Logan Hall, her first. Twellman at the free throw line. She spins, left-handed free throw shot up on the way, and it's money. Grace Twillman had an absolutely outstanding week over the Bowling Green Invitational Tournament. So Womack comes out. Jade Meyer checks in. Bruni's going to return for March. And I'm not sure what we're doing. We've got 6 players on the court for Bowling Green as Charlton comes off. I think we've got it all straight now. It's Twillman at the charity stripe for her second. On the way, and it's good as well. Nice free throw shooting in there for Grace Twillman. So now Charlton checks in for Sparks.
Bowling Green back to the 2-3 zone here.
Twillman and Dieters up top. And we've got Charlton, Meyer, and Fairchild down low. Bruni skips it near side to Smith. Smith looks with the left hand, dribbles around on the wing, loses the handle. She's got to do something, so she skips it back over to Bruni. Bruni waits, looks for her offense, now back in the near side to Akers. Akers swings it to Smith over the far side to Bruni. Bruni has the ball knocked away, and they're going to chase it back into the backcourt as it's going to go out of bounds. Akers helps Dieters out. They're going to say his last touch by Dieters. Lockard, who'd come out of the basketball games, coming back in along with Briley Sparks as well. So Bruni into Akers. You mentioned they got that 2-3 zone up top. And they had Lockard posting up against Dieters. Over on the far corner with it is Smith. Back up top to Akers. Back to Smith again. Look to feed inside, nothing there, so they're going to work it back on the near side in the corner with it to Bruni. Back to Akers. Over to the far side to Smith. Smith going to drive that baseline down the block. She get too far underneath of it. Her shot's up. It's no good. And it's Fairchild with the rebound. She's going to hand it off to Dieters. 1:33 to go here in the half. Clopton leads it 23-12. Over to Charlton on the far wing. Charlton waits for her offense. Being very patient at this point. As they look, picks up her dribble. She's in some trouble. They get to Dieters. Dieters takes it to the elbow, spins. In some trouble. Back out to Sparks. Sparks with the left hand into the paint. Down to Meyer. Working it around is Dieters. Finds Fairchild from the block extended. She was looking to bank it in. It's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Bowling Green with 1:04 to go in the half. Don't forget we've got your Sailor Satellite Center halftime report coming up. Or as I was going to say, Haley Chandler and Womack checking back in. Shanna Yates is also going to return. She's going to give Smith a break. So, Lady Hawks bring it back the other direction. We're under a minute. 23-12 is our score. Hawks on top by 11. They led by as many as 13. Akers with it now. Back in the near side with it to Bruni. Bruni finds the baseline. Kicks it back out to Lockard. She wants another three here, and it misses everything and ends up in the hands of Charlton. Charlton hands it to Dieters. Dieters going to bring it across the timeline. Walks it down, brings it to the near side, lobs it to Sparks. Sparks to Charlton, and Charlton's going to travel.
She had it, too. I mean, she had a wide open lane to the rim.
She did. She was trying to get that little extra step in there as she saw that path like they parted like the Red Sea for, and she just got a little excited there. Looks like we're going to have a timeout as Coach Street wants to strategize the final 30 seconds here of the half with her Lady Hawks. We'll take one break here. We'll come back with your final 30 seconds of the half as the Clopton Lady Hawks lead the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats 23-12 as you're listening to Conference Basketball on Eagle 102.
The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing Merc BK Mobile. With the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account, you'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
High school sports on KJFM is brought to you by Pike County Mutual Insurance, Browns Processing, and Bank of Louisiana.
You know, Bobby, I was just looking at the scoring real quick and trying to do some math, which Jim Ross likes to remind everybody is not, the best thing I excelled at in school. Kerrigan Lockardar has 15 points here in the first half.
Yeah, she's played really well.
15 of the 23 for Clopton, so.
And been very efficient in those 15.
So it's Clopton's basketball, 30.6 ticks to go in the half. Again, Hawks on top at 23-12. So with it is Akers. Akers brings it across the timeline. She's guarded in there by Sparks. Kind of looks like we're going for the last shot here. That very rarely ever works.
Yeah.
As Akers brings on the near side. Hands it off to Bruni. Bruni's going to take it up. Her shot's partially deflected. It goes out. Oh, they save it from going out of bounds. The Bobcats do. But that is how the half ends. Clopton on top of Bowling Green at 23-12. We got your Sailor Satellite Center halftime report next here on Eagle 102.
The Eagle 102 halftime report is coming up. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Wait, there's more. They also offer several options for internet service with Viasat, HughesNet, and AT&T. Hold on, there's still more. They can also do security system installations, have TVs in stocks, mounts, and cables. Now, a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Sailor and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service. But did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
Farmers, the crew at Mike's Tire and Service Center is here to serve you. They know the hours you put in, which makes it difficult to get that equipment in for service. Therefore, they offer on-the-farm tire repair. Hi folks, my name is Cody Kirkendall, Mike's Tire and Service Center, located on Business Highway 61 in Bowling Green.
Bringing you all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
It's now time for the Eagle 102 halftime report on KJFM, sponsored by Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green.
Well, Bobby, looking at the scoring for the two quarters, Clopton is pretty consistent. They put up 11 in the first quarter, 12 in the second quarter. Bowling Green, however, they struggled in the first. They were able to put up 8 in the second, but Clopton has that 11-point lead here, and so Bowling Green's kind of got a little bit of a mountain to climb.
They do, and I think on one side he's probably saying he's frustrated with how they didn't finish layups and they turned it over a bunch. But on the other note, he's probably saying we couldn't have played much worse than we did in the first half, and we're only down 11. So he's probably got a Jekyll and Hyde in the locker room a little bit.
And really, I was looking at turnovers. I'm like, yeah, they've had a lot of turnovers. They haven't had a lot of turnovers. It's really just missed rebounds.
Really?
Clopton has 7, and Bowling Green has 7. But I think what a lot of it comes down to is just those missed opportunities that we talked about.
I mean, multiple opportunities underneath the rim, and they don't get it, and and then the same thing going on there. I mean, if Bowling Green's getting extra opportunities, and we talked in early, if Clopton gets a rebound, they're able to get out and run, and things look a lot differently for them too.
Let's look at a little bit of scoring. Of course, we mentioned it just a few moments ago. Right now, leading all scorers, Kerrigan Lockhart has 15 points, including 2 trays. Followed in there, Logan Hall has 4, and then Brea Smith and Taylor Akers each have 2. For the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats right now, Kaylin Charlton's their leading scorer with 4. Grace Dieters has a big tray that she knocked down in the first quarter, and then Grace Twillman and Kaylin Womack each have 2. Bowling Green has only been to the free throw line once this evening. They are 2 for 2. Clopton has been there a couple times, and they are 7 for 7. So both teams perfect from the charity stripe.
I hope we don't jinx them.
I'm sure I just did. That it seems to be the story of my life when it comes to talking about these. But we talked about it. If it was a Bowling Green tournament or not that long ago, very rarely do you see where both teams are perfect from the free throw line.
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick break on the Cellular Satellite Center halftime report, and we'll let Coach Spoonster tell us how both teams are going to win this game in the second half as you're listening to Area High School Basketball on Eagle 102.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Wait, there's more. They also offer several options for internet service with Viasat, HughesNet, and AT&T. Hold on, there's still more. They can also do security system installations, have TVs in stocks, mounts, and cables. Now, a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Sailor and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
Daily life is a bit different right now than what we're used to, but let's remember that this too shall pass and try to find ways to keep positive, help others in need, spend quality time with family, exercise, pray, do something that helps you feel empowered and moving forward. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, praying for good to come out of trials.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Eagle 102 Sports on KJFM is brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, County Market in Louisiana, and Bowling Green Insurance.
Tell you what, Bobby, I don't know that I've seen so many proud parents with their phones out with the little cheerleaders dancing.
I was just going to say, I don't even know if the basketball game is the most important thing here tonight. These people they're pretty excited about these little girls.
And boy, are they cute with their little pink bows in their hair. As we mentioned right now, Clopton leads Bowling Green here at the half, 23-12. We still have about a little over 4 minutes to go here in the half. Bobby, if Bowling Green wants to come out and rebound here, what do they need to do?
They're going to have to take care of the basketball better. They're going to have to finish the easy shots that they're getting because they are getting them. And we talked, and they are still winning a lot of the hustle plays. They're just not being able to put the ball in the bottom of the hole like they need to. And I think that that's where they're really struggling in this ball game at this moment.
All right, and now Clopton, if they want to keep this lead, what do they need to do?
I think they've been super effective, obviously, with Kerrigan Lockhart in the middle of the floor. I think when Coach Street watches this film, she's going to see that a lot of times that they had Logan Hall open in the short corner and missed her, which is a big part of that offense. And I think, if they can get her involved in the short corner with Lockhart, that's kind of a two-headed monster there in the post. And I think that they can get those two going inside. They can continue to keep this lead.
All right, you heard it straight from the coach's mouth. We've got second half action coming your way next here from Clopton as the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats and the Clopton Lady Hawks are battling it out here. The Lady Hawks lead at 23-12 at the half as you're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Wait, there's more. They also offer several options for internet service with Viasat, HughesNet, and AT&T. Hold on, there's still more. They can also do security system installations, have TVs in stocks, mounts, and cables. Now, a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
Need a little good news in your life? State Farm has new, lower car insurance rates in Missouri, so you can now get the service and convenience of State Farm agent Cindy Blaylock at an even better price. Call me today at 573-754-5575. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only one part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact me, Kayla Caldwell, your Edward Jones financial advisor, at 2604 Georgia Street in Louisiana. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Show off your school pride today with the Bulldog debit card from Bank of Louisiana. Every time you use your Bulldog debit card, Bank of Louisiana will make a donation to the Louisiana School District. Stop by the bank today and get your new Bulldog debit card so you can start supporting the teachers and students with every swipe. The Bulldog debit card from Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102 is brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, the Mercantile Bank and Bowling Green Tractor.
We're getting ready to start the second half. Want to remind you, we have district basketball action that starts tomorrow. That's right. Mark Froenick will be making the trip to Sturgeon as the Silex Lady Owls will face the Sturgeon Lady Bulldogs. I will be at Van Far High School as the Van Far Lady Indians will host Wellsville Middletown. So you can catch all that action on the radio, online at kjfmradio.com, on the KJFM radio app, and on Alexa. But remember, we are into postseason, and that means no more video streaming.
And you know what? I think it's a perfect time to give a shout out to all the area schools, administrators, coaches, players, families. I mean, we got through this season pretty unscathed with everything going on in the world right now. And that's kudos to those guys. I mean, having to deal with tickets and everything else, the game became more than just putting on a game. And I think everybody in the area, I mean, we're pretty fortunate around here to be able to enjoy a season like we have been able to.
Tell you what, we all thought back in November we weren't going to finish the season, let's be honest. So
absolutely.
Again, hats off to the players for taking that responsibility to us to trying to stay healthy so we can play some basketball. We're ready to go here in the third. Clopton gets the ball to start things off as Lockhart immediately loses the basketball. So I'm assuming he called a travel. That's what he meant to call, right?
Because I don't know. He just went that way.
He just threw up the hands and pointed towards Bowling Green. So as Lockhart was falling down with the basketball, we'll just assume that they called the travel on her. Now Dieters is in a trap, but she finds Charlton. Charlton kicks it into the block extended on the near side to Chandler. Chandler working it around, needed some help in the hands again of the Bobcats. Dieters, long three. She's letting them fly, and that's her second tray of the night. So makes it a 23-15 basketball game as Dieters drains her second tray of the evening. Akers brings it near side, dishes it off to Bruni. Bruni in the near corner with it to Yates. Back up with it to Bruni. Bruni to Yates again. Yates from the block extended. It's too hard. Ball's tipped around a couple different times. It's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Clopton.
Bowling Green did a little boxing one on that possession. Boxing one and on Akers. That's kind of a different look than what you saw in the first half.
So Dieters and Charlton playing a little pitch and catch, and Locker gets the steal, but she tries to get it back. It's taken away by Charlton. Charlton shots up and good, and quickly.
Just like that, it's a 6-point ball game.
Yep. As you mentioned, it doesn't take long. So Akers over in the far corner with it to Yates. Down low to Hall. Hall's underneath. Her shot's up. It's no good, but she's headed to the free throw line. So Logan Hall this is her first trip to the charity stripe. And she will be there. 23-17 is our score. Hawks still on top. First free throw shot is up and good. So I guess I didn't jinx it too terribly bad right off the bat, but we'll see if I just did there. Clopton's led by as many as 13 in the first half. All second free throw shot on the way, and it's money too. 25-17, full court pressure, man-to-man defense from Clopton. And there's the 5-second call. Charlton started to move along the baseline and still couldn't find that open man to get the ball into as Clopton's defense was pretty tight there in that one. So now Yates will inbound the basketball. She looks, waits for her offense to move. And they finally get it into Lockhart. Lockhart moves it around to the free throw line, back out top with it to Bruni. Bruni looks, she waits. It looks like they're kind of, and they say she travels. She took off, got a little bunny hop in there. It looks like with the defense they're putting on Taylor Akers, they're going to make somebody else need to handle the basketball for the Hawks.
And force somebody else to handle it.
So now Charlton will inbound the basketball in the middle of Clopton's bench. And all of a sudden.
And get Akers for a hold.
Well, Taylor picks up her first foul of the night. Maybe she was just trying to give her a friendly hug. They get the ball into Twellman. Twellman spins off to Sparks, right back to Dieters. Dieters finds the sideline over the far side now, lobs it down low, and it's going to go out of the reach of Charlton. So back-to-back turnovers with 6:24 to go in the third. Clopton leads at 25-17. I notice now Akers is running it across the timeline. He finds Lockhart. Lockhart shots up. It's no good with the rebound. Is Bowling Green. Back the other direction we go. Here comes Dieters. She pulls up as soon as she crosses the timeline.
She's going to shoot it again. They don't.
Yeah, they don't put somebody on her. In the near corner with it to Chandler. Chandler drives the baseline. Her shot's up. It's partially blocked, and now it's tipped around.
Goes back to that hustle play again.
Came right back to Chandler. Now Dieters has it. She shoots over top of everybody. It's loose, and now Sparks has it. Finally, Clopton comes with. This is not picturesque by any means. They're called double dribble on Bruni.
They're not making some highlight films here, that's for sure.
ESPN is not going to be calling, asking us if they can do their little sounder for anything this evening. And now the coaches on both sides are just pulling people left and right so they can talk to their players. So Charlton will inbound the basketball for Bowling Green. 5:48 to go in the third. Clopton has the lead, and they find Womack. Clopton leads 25-17. Charlton with it finally gets in the hands of Dieters. Dieters at the half-court line. Finds Charlton. Charlton takes it down, works it around with the left hand into the paint.
Nice
Her
move.
shot's up, and it's good. She's got 2 more. And we're headed back the other direction. Over to Bruni, down low to Hall. Hall has the ball stripped away from her. Dieter's on the floor with it. And now coming away, it's a turnover after turnover after turnover, and now we've got a foul. And they're going to call it on Dieters. That'll be her 3rd. Clopton will have it underneath their basket on the far side along the baseline. Bruni will inbound the basketball for the Lady Hawks. They get it right into Hall. Hall's looking. They want to feed it into Lockhart. Ball bounces around. Lockhart comes with it. Now she loses it and ends up in the hands of Charlton. Charlton to Dieters. Dieters. She's off to the races. Crossover dribble brings it across the timeline. She works between the circles now. Finds Gam, who checked in the basketball game. Gam on the near wing. In the corner with it to Twellman. Twellman looks. Back to Dieters. Dieters back to Twellman again. Up top of the key. And they're just kind of moving around. It looks like another 3 from Dieter. She's going to tries to bank it in. Ball's loose. Coming away with it now finally is Lockhart. And I tell you what, now.
Another hustle play and a bucket. I bet we get a timeout right here.
And there you go. We've got it. And she's out in the middle of the court asking for it. And it's a 4-point game now. Clopton still leads it 25-21, 4:33 to go here in the 3rd. We've got a timeout. We'll take one as well as you're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Pike County, Missouri Health Department is accepting appointments for upcoming COVID vaccination clinics. Appointments can be made online at www.pikecountyhealth.org or by calling our office at 573-324-2111. These will be on a first-come, first-served basis. This upcoming clinic is scheduled for Wednesday, February 24th at the Bowling Green Church of the Nazarene.
High school sports on KJFM is brought to you by Vicki Cadwallader Real Estate and Perkins Electrical Service.
Bobby, at this point, you think that Coach Street has to be telling her Lady Hawks take care of the basketball.
Yeah, just be strong with the basketball. I mean, a couple possessions in a row, they said the rebound is ripped away from them.
So as far as Bowling Green, Coach Runyon has to be telling them stay in there, stay aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they're going to allow you to play this way, we're going to be physical and we're going to get after it. And hey, keep making those 2-foot shots that we're getting.
All right, we now know where we all stand. It'll be Clopton's basketball. They'll have it from. Take it the length of the court. Bowling Green has no interest in a full court pressure against the Clopton Lady Hawks, so they get it into Akers easily. As we mentioned before, she was kind of just walking it across the timeline. She's in a mad dash now. She gets over to the far side to Bruni. Bruni finds Lockhart. Lockhart again loses the handle, but Brea Smith's there to clean it up. And so Smith gets another 2. Brea has 4 on the night as Dieters has the basketball now for the LadyCats. And Akers is going to pick up her 2nd foul as she reached in and knocked the basketball away. 4:13 to go here in the 3rd. 27-21 is our score. Clopton leads Bowling Green by 6. We know that when these two teams meet, it's never really what you would call pretty.
No.
They get the ball into Twellman. And both teams, we mentioned it before, used to be kind of more of a Clopton-style setup. It didn't matter how each team was doing. It was a hard-fought battle, and I think it's kind of rolled up to these two now. Long shot on the way from Womack, and it was good. Give her 2 more. So Kaylin Womack with her first 2 points here in the second half makes it 27-23. Lockhart with the basketball. Her shot's up, and it's good. She did that one straight from the elbow. And that's her first 2 points of the second half as Dieters brings it across the timeline. 29-23, 3:39 to go here in the 3rd. Twellman with the basketball. Finds Fairchild. Dieters wants to drop another 3, and she banks it in.
The bank is still open in Southern Pike County.
She's dropping those 3s tonight. That is her 3rd. They're going to find an answer for that as Smith has the basketball now. It's a 3-point game. Smith takes it down low. She goes up. Her shot's blocked by Womack. Coming away with it is Smith. Smith dribbles around on the arc, needs some help. She gets it from Lockhart. Lockhart works over on the far wing. Bruni, she weaves through and she's going to be fouled.
You know, that's what they're continuing to, box and one with Akers and just completely take her out of the whole offensive flow.
And they're going to give Bruni a minute because she thinks she hit her knees pretty hard there. She's going to walk it off. Charlton and Sparks comes back in. I would say that Yates is going to come in for Bruni's and give her a chance to rub it off, put some dirt on it. And Clopton will have it over on the baseline. Lockard will throw it in. As they look, they get it into Akers. Akers lobs it down into Lockard, and they get the over-the-back call on Fairchild. I know I call it over the back, even though it's not really over the back. I think we've adopted that as an acceptable term at this point.
I think so. Everybody's going to say it's over the back.
Everybody's going to say it's over the back, even though if you read the, 23 most misunderstood calls in high school basketball by Jim Ross, you'll find out that it's not an over-the-back call. Actually, I don't think Jim wrote it, but Lockard heads to the bucket. Her shot's up and good. I think we just had it, and I just gave him more credit than what he deserves. Sparks with it now for the Bobcats. Tries to feed it up top to Charlton. It's going to roll off her leg and go out of bounds. And so it'll be Bruni with it, or excuse me, Smith inbounding it on the far side.
I think the Bowling Green crowd thought it went off her foot. And I might concur with them actually on that call.
Takes it down along the block. She shoots over top of everybody, tips around a couple different times, and ball's loose. And Smith has it. And she's going to be fouled. And they're going to call it on Sparks. That'll be her second. So Twellman and Dieters checks back in. 2:27 to go here in the third quarter. Clopton leads this one 31-26. We will have senior night and then boys action for you. As Smith gets it into Akers. Back to a 2-3 zone now by Bowling Green. Yates, they feed it inside to Lockard, and she's fouled.
Like we talked at half, I mean, they're going to continue to wear that out. When they go 2-3, they're going to wear out that middle of the floor with Lockard there. She's an awfully hard guard at that point.
Now the problem is Grace Twellman just picked up her fourth foul. So now Yates will inbound the basketball. She looks, waits, and they get it right into Lockard. Lockard works it in the paint, drops it off to Smith, back out to Lockard again. Takes it in, spins. She's in the paint. Her shot's up and good. She's broken into the 20s tonight. She has 21 on the night, and it's a 33-26 lead with 2 minutes to go in the third. Far wing with it now to Charlton. Charlton guarded by Yates in this man-to-man defense as Akers isn't giving Dieters any type of space. Find Chandler. Chandler on the near wing. They try to feed it into Dieters, and it rolls off of her chest. They throw it up to Smith, and we got a timeout. Sparks spun around. She thought she had another foul. So we'll take a timeout as well. 1:45 to go in the third. Clopton leads Bowling Green 33-26. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Bowling Green Insurance is here to serve all your insurance needs. Bowling Green Insurance offers companies to cover your farm, home, auto, and crop needs. Give Bowling Green Insurance a call today to get a quote. 573-324-CROP.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102 is brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock, Young Enterprises Incorporated, and Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Well, if this sets the tone for the night, Bobby, I'm almost scared to see what the boys' game is going to look like.
I know, because we all know when the Bowling Green boys and the Clopton boys play.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a battle.
It is going to be a battle. This one is a battle as well. It just doesn't happen to be a pretty one.
That's very good. Yes.
Akers over to the far wing with it to Yates. Finds Lockard at the elbow, back to Akers. Into the paint is Smith. Smith's shot's partially blocked, and Sparks had a hold of it. It rolled off her fingertips out of bounds. But, they're really collapsing inside that paint, as you mentioned. When someone on that block gets the ball, Bobby, there's 4 bodies around them.
Yeah, they're going after it, and, that's kind of been the biggest change of the half is when they've done that.
So Akers hands it off to Lockard. Lockard steps inside. Her shot's nothing but net. If you give her the room, she's going to take it. 35-26 is our score. We've got 1:20 to go in the third. Clopton's led by as many as 13 in this one. Charlton with it, down low. She tries to go up. It's partially blocked, and we're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with the Cats as Fairchild checks in. 1:13 to go in the third. So Dieters, she'll inbound the basketball. She looks, lobs it up to Sparks. Sparks on the wing on the near side, hands it right back to Dieters. They can't give her any space. She's dropped 3 threes already here in this contest. And now there's a ball thrown away, but Dieters tracks it down. Maintains possession for the LadyCats with the left hand, spins into the paint. She kicks it out now to Womack. Womack shot's on the way, and it's money. She has a nice jump shot. It's a little on the flat side, but it works for her. Headed back the other direction. Here comes a three from Akers, and she
Big
drops
shot there.
it. That's her first three of the night, and here comes Dieters the other direction. 38-28. It's a 10-point lead with 30 seconds to go here in the third. Fairchild with it. Now back up with it to Dieters. Skips it far side to Womack. Womack to Dieters. Dieters dribbles with the basketball. Picks up her dribble, needs some help. Finds it on the near side by Fairchild. Fairchild going against Garrett. Her shot's partially blocked in there. Locker comes away with it. She throws a long pass up. That's to Akers. Akers lays it off the glass. And just like that, it's a 12-point lead for Clopton. They got down within three, Bobby. The LadyCats did, but Clopton has just battled their way back. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Dieters takes a shot at the buzzer. It's off the mark, and it's no good. And we're headed to the final quarter of action. Clopton has the lead, 40-28. We've got the fourth quarter next here on Eagle 102.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Now a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Well, we've got one more quarter of action here to settle this one between Bowling Green and Clopton. As we mentioned, Bowling Green got within three when it was 29-26, but then Clopton came back, and Kerrigan Locker and Taylor Akers just kind of went on a little bit of a run.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably pretty disheartening right now. I mean, if you're a Bowling Green kid, you fight within three, and then in the last 2.5 minutes, they just kind of stretch the lead out to 12 on you. But that's what, with Lockard and Akers can do that to you.
All right, so Clopton has the basketball here to start the fourth. 8 minutes to go here before this one's decided as Akers has the basketball. Back to that zone defense from Bowling Green. Akers with it again. Brings it to the near side. Dishes it off to Smith. Long three on the way from Lockard is no good. No, Jim Ross, I couldn't see through your head. And now here we go again as the rebound ended up in the hands of the Bobcats. With it is Dieters. Dieters throws it in the near side with it to Womack. Womack, she looks, works it around. She finds a lane, takes it to the hole, bounces around. Shot's no good. Dieters with the rebound. Dieters will bring it back up and reset things between the circles. Near side with it to Fairchild. Fairchild looks back up top to Charlton. She faked the three. Womack claps her hands. She won it. Now back to Dieters. They gave Dieters too much room. She was going to try and bank it in again. This time it missed everything. Goes out of bounds. 7:05 to go in the matchup. Clopton has the lead, 40-28. We'll have senior night activities between these two basketball games, and then we'll have boys for you. So Akers over to the far wing to Yates. Yates waits, back to Akers. She backs it up, brings it near side to Smith. Smith looks, back to Akers again. Works it around, far wing to Yates. Inside to Lockard, her shot's up and good. Two more for her. And Dieters comes back the other direction. 42-28 is our score. Lady Hawks on top. Dieters spins, she takes in the paint. And her shot's blocked and she's gonna be fouled. She'll get two, and that's gonna go against Mary Margaret Garrett. She's affectionately called Marge by those her teammates. Grace Dieters' first trip to the free throw line tonight. First free throw shot on the way, and it's good. 42-29 is our score.
But if I'm Clopton, I'm totally okay with that last offensive possession. It took some time off the clock. You worked it down. You got an easy two-footer. You got a game like this, you just want to get to the end of the game.
Second free throw shot is off the mark. With the rebound is Yates. Fires it up to Akers. Now to Lockard. She's in the paint. Her shot's up. It's short. Ball's loose. Chasing down the rebound is the Hawks. Akers cross court with it to Garrett. Garrett back out to Smith. Smith thought about it. Says she's going to kick back out top to Akers. Near side with it to Yates. I'm kind of surprised Clopton hasn't gone into their clock killing mode yet. Smith, again, looks, she penetrates and loses the handle on the basketball. She rolls around on top of him. We're going to have a jump ball. Arrow should favor Bowling Green. Gam checks back into the basketball game here, returns Bruni. Dieters is going to take a seat. Charlton's also going to come back into the basketball game. So, nope, they're going to tell Bruni to get up on him. Here comes that full court pressure.
Yeah, I saw they figured that was coming. Dieters go to the bench. They're going to bring the noise to everybody.
And we've got an offensive foul. That's going to go against Sparks. She shoved off a little bit. And so it'll be Clopton's basketball. And I don't know what we're discussing down here. It was an offensive. Did they think maybe they didn't switch the button? I'm not sure what they're thinking over there. I think Mark Bross wants to make sure the arrow button is moving as everybody else is sitting and waiting.
It's not didn't
switch up there.
Yeah, and they didn't. They shorted him a point.
I have it as 42-29. Or did they add one?
Just add one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they've got it all straightened out now. I mean, there's two clock people that we don't ever mess with. Becky Yates and Kathy Gregory are those two people. Susan Loggeman, you can throw that in there too. Other than that, I don't mess with anybody else. I always assume I'm wrong and they're right. So Clopton gets it into Lockard. Lockard back up top with it to Akers. Akers guarded in there by Gam as they've gone to a man-to-man defense. Are they man? Yeah. Or are they at 3-2? Are they doing?
I think they're man right now.
Yeah, they're kind of making you wonder is what they're kind of doing. And Taylor Akers is going to go to the free throw line. Is that for a minute I thought, well, maybe they're a triangle and two, or because they were doing the box and one earlier.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait. And as some of them kind of stand there, it makes you go, Foul in there by Sparks. That'll be her fourth. Sends Taylor Akers to the free throw line to shoot two with 5:40 to go in the basketball game. First free throw shot is up and good. 43-29 is our score. Matches the largest lead of the night at 14 points. So Akers will get a second. She spins the ball. Dribble, shot on the way. And it rims around and it's good. So with the basketball now is Dieters. Dieters looking to tighten this one up here with the 5.5 to go in the basketball game. She's going to go all the way in herself. Shot off the glass is no good. Gets her own rebound. She's just looking for somewhere to go with it. They throw it out, and here comes Bruni. Bruni tracks it down. She brings it into the front court, waits for Lockard to cross. Lockard has her pocket picked from behind. Now it's back to Dieters. Dieters is going to go straight in, and she's going to, I thought, personally I would have taken it right in there to Lockard.
Right.
And there's a foul anyway. Lockard was standing there with her hands up. Go ahead and jump into her, girl. You're going to get the foul. You're going to draw it.
Locker's sitting there going, it's only 5 minutes left to go in this game. I only got 2 fouls. It'll be all right. I'll take a swat.
She was going to, and it's going to send Charlton to the free throw line as Garrett picks up her second foul. Charlton's first one is good. Nice free throw shooting in there again from the freshman. She's had a nice night. She's got 11 in the evening now. Makes it 44-30. Guess I can't do math because 15 points is our largest of the night. And her second one's on the way as well. It's off the back of the rim, and I jinxed her. And we've got jump balls that way.
Yeah.
So I thought, write something down, and all of a sudden you miss some action. Logan Hall checking in now for Garrett. Bowling Green has the basketballs. Dieters will inbound the ball with 5:10 to go in this matchup. So Dieters looks. She throws a long pass into Gam. Gam takes it to the far wing. Picks up her dribble now to Dieters. Don't give her that. I was going to say,
she's going to shoot it.
Her feet were getting set, that's for sure. Fairchild with it now. And in the near corner to Charlton. Back up with it to Dieters. She goes in, lays it off the glass. It's no good. Ball's loose. Nobody can reel it in. And there's Dieters that walks away with it. Charlton working at the free throw line. And Smith came in, knocked it out, but it still ended up in the hands of Bowling Green. Womack looks inside to Gam. Back outside, little inside out there. With it now is Dieters. Dieters works it around into the paint. She takes up a shot. It's no good, and it's Akers with the basketball, and they're going to, with 4:27 to go in the basketball game, that was a little too ticky-tack for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure that, but,
That's why we get paid to sit up here, and we're not down the court. Because now we're going to walk to the other end, and we're going to shoot free throws.
I can say that Coach Runyon handled that call a whole lot better than I would have.
Bobby, I've watched you coach enough times. I know he handled that a lot better than you would have. And that was foul number 4 for Grace Dieter. She's got 4:27 to go in this one that she needs to stay in. As Akers is at the charity stripe for her first. This 1-1 on the way, and it's good. 45-30 is our score. She'll get a second. Match is again the largest lead of the night at 15.
I'd almost bet the next possession, if they get a stop, you're going to see your delay game.
And there is that second free throw shot, 46-30. With it is Dieters. And we got a timeout. So Coach Runyon this time, he wants to talk to his LadyCats and strategize the last 4:25. We'll take a break from here for some of our sponsors. 46-30 is your score. Hawks lead it. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Is it time to renew, redo, or rebuild? I'm Christine Rutherford, and we have loans designed specifically for repairs and renovations, along with home equity lines of credit. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender, MLO number 421603, NMLS number 407724.
High school sports on KJFM is brought to you by Abel's Quick Shops, Mike's Tire and Service Center, and All Parts.
We've got 4:25 to go here in this matchup right now. Clopton has their largest lead of the night at 16, and really Bowling Green, more than anything, is in foul trouble.
Yeah.
You've got Sparks, Dieters, Twellman, all with 4 fouls, and those are 3 of the girls that you don't want with 4 fouls.
Correct.
So we're going to get range. So we're shooting free throws here for the rest of the basketball game. The Clopton Lady Hawks are, as Bowling Green, and that was their 9th team foul. So we're going to see lots of free throw shooting. Bowling Green, I tell you what, they've had some really good spots here in this basketball game.
Yeah, and for not playing for a while or practicing a whole lot, I think you'll take that away from this game with this young squad.
So Charlton's going to inbound the basketball up, and they tried to hand it. Dieter's got her hand on it while Charlton was standing out of bounds, so it's an out-of-bounds call, and back to Bowling Green we go. Actually, back to Clopton we go. So with it is Akers. Akers works around near side, top of the key with it to Lockard. Lockard takes it down inside, and she kind of shoves off there. And Coach Runyon says, yeah, we need a foul on this end too.
Right.
And there's a little shove there, but doesn't get called for it. Instead, Lockard's going to the free throw line. Picking up her 3rd foul is Womack. First free throw shot on the way. Rims in and out, no good. I will tell you that is the first free throw shot
I was going to ask that.
Clopton has missed. I wasn't going to say that. Are they really going to end this game shooting perfect from the charity stripe? Nope, they sure are not. Second free throw shot on the way. We must have jinxed her as Charlton got another rebound in there. Works it, brings it near side, dishes it off to Womack. Womack to Twellman. Over to the far side to Gam. Gam from the elbow. Her shot's up. No good, but again, a nice rebound in there by Womack. Even though her putback was no good, it's tipped around. Now Gam's going to get it again. And finally, coming away with the basketball is someone in a white shirt at this point because, Bobby, that's what the Clopton fans and the Clopton bench has to be thinking. Bowling Green had those opportunities. They were doing a great job with rebounding. They just couldn't quite get the ball to fall in the hole for them.
Absolutely.
So Smith works it. Oh, come on.
And there's 5.
And the ball handler, the spark plug, I don't know what you want to call her, Mighty Mouse herself, Gracie Dieter's that's going to be it for her for the night. I tell you what, she's what, sophomore? I got that right? Sophomore?
Yes. Yep.
Whew, by the time she becomes a senior, watch out. Smith at the free throw line. First free throw shot on the way, and it's good. 47-30 is our score. She'll get a second. Off the mark, no good. With the rebound, I tell you what, I didn't keep track of the rebounds, but Bowling Green has done a fantastic job rebounding this evening.
Absolutely.
They have out-rebounded Clopton the entire night. Long throw up to Gam. And now get into to Twellman. Twellman's going to be fouled. She'll go to the free throw line and knock down a couple. As Grace Twellman, that's be her second trip to the charity stripe. 47-30 is our score. 3:19 to go here in the basketball game. Bowling Green, remind you that their regular season isn't over with till next week, as they don't start their week later, as I apparently jinxed poor Grace as well. She missed that one. Bowling Green's district, they moved up to Class 4 in this little shuffle here that Misha did with some of the classes, so they're actually a week later than what they normally play, so they've got a few more games under their belt. Look for the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats to maybe pick up a couple wins before their regular season's over with, and that second one's up and good.
As I talked to Coach Chance, that's kind of why they weren't in a huge hurry to reschedule the North Callaway or play the North Callaway game last night, because they knew they had another week on their schedule to get it rescheduled for next week.
And there's another turnover by Clopton as Twellman has it across the timeline, and North Callaway's in the same district as Bowling Green too. Ball's tipped around. It's going to go out of bounds to stay with the LadyCats. They get an opportunity to get some more points on the board here. As Twellman is underneath the basket for the LadyCats. She's like, we need you girls to move here. Gets it into Fairchild. Fairchild works it around over on the far wing. She's in trap. Ball's loose, and Madison Akers tries to get it, but Charlton's like, nope, I'll have that. Sparks backs it up into the Hawk. She'll bring it to the near side. Bowling Green without their key ball handler. I'm not telling you that these girls aren't doing a great job without them, but you know, most people know if you're following Bowling Green basketball that Dieters is your ball handler on the team.
Yeah.
Twellman in some trouble, and there's a steal in there by Madison Akers, and Madison will be fouled. We'll walk to the other end and shoot some free throws. Down to 2:30 to go here in the basketball game. 47-31 is the score. Jasmine Hammett set to jump in the basketball game. Avergam and Womack coming off the bench after the first attempt. First one's up and good. Bobby, this is the fullest I've seen this gym this year.
There's quite a few people. I guess thank goodness for the cheer night. I'm sure they got plenty of tickets to help and get Grandma and Grandpa out here.
I'm sure, and it doesn't hurt that you play in both varsity and JV games.
True, true.
Second free throw shot, no good. Rebound again in there by the LadyCats. And Twellman with it. She's going to bring it across the timeline. If she works, gets it to Charlton. Charlton down on the near block. She's looking. She's in some trouble. And there's another takeaway, or attempted takeaway. That was going to go against Smith as she was diving. So,
and, you know, there's some, you know, I mean, last few minutes of this game, there's some big minutes going to be played by some of these younger kids from Clopton that they're seeing some minutes that are going to have to play a lot of minutes come next year.
Yep. So with it is Charlton. Charlton moves around, looks for some help, gets it to Twellman. Twellman to Meyer. Jade Meyer, the other senior on the basketball team for the LadyCats. And she gets it to Twellman. Twellman, bounce pass over to Womack. Womack weaves it around. Now Charlton, she wants the three. Oh, she thought she was going to get it banked in there as Akers throws it up to the other Akers. And Madison goes up, and she was hoping to draw the foul off of Charlton. Charlton played that one well, got in good position there, and ball rolled out of bounds, just last touched by Bowling Green. Sparks returns now for Gam. As Akers gets it into to Smith. Back to Little Akers. Swings it to Hammett over on the far side to Taylor. Taylor wants the three. It's too hard. And I tell you what, Charlton was able to get her hands on the basketball, no problem. Goes out of bounds, last touch by Clopton. So at the end of Clopton's bench, Charlton will inbound the basketball, gets it to Twellman. 48-31 still our score, 1:28 to go in the basketball game. Twellman with the basketball. Down low, long shot on the way by Womack. It's no good, and it's Smith with the rebound. Smith doesn't have the numbers, but
nice
she's going to take
crossover.
She's going to take it to the hole anyway.
It's a big-time make.
That's why I was going to say she didn't care that she didn't have the numbers. She was going to go all the way in as Womack has it. Now back to Twellman. Twellman's going to get the backcourt violation as the pass was just a little out of her reach. Stacia Talbert getting ready to check in now for the Lady Hawks. So Kerrigan's going to come out. I think she's probably safe to say she's done for the evening with a minute 2 to go here in the basketball game.
And safe to say, probably one of her better games in the last month of the year.
Yeah, possibly so. So Madison gets the ball into Taylor. Taylor will bring it across the timeline, takes it in, stops, pops for two. Shots up and good.
She's had a big second half.
Yes, she has, and I'll try to do some math here for the post game coming up in just a few moments as we're down to 48 ticks. Sparks has the basketball. She's trying to avoid the trap, gets it on the near side to Fairchild. Fairchild works down along the block, and she's going to be fouled. And I believe that's probably going to go against Madison. And that's who they tag. As people are starting to make their way to the door so they can do the senior night recognition. Gam to inbound the basketball. She looks, gets it into Sparks. Sparks in the paint, kicks out to Womack. Womack to Fairchild. And the near side with it to Gam. Back up top to Sparks. Sparks dribbles with the right hand to Fairchild. Down to 28 ticks. They look for Womack. She has to kick it back out. Long shot on the way. It's off the rim. Talbot grabs the basketball, and she's going to step out of bounds, so it'll stay with Bowling Green. 52-31 is our score. 22 ticks to go here. Hard to believe that this matchup was within 3 not all that long ago. Bowling Green just couldn't capitalize once they got it down to that single-digit deficit. With it is Gam. Far side to Womack. Womack to Sparks. Sparks gives a little fake. She spins at the free throw line. It's taken away in there by Smith. Smith has it. She'll bring it across the timeline. Now this time she'll hold up, and they'll probably just dribble it out if she can. Now they get to Akers. Akers to Hammett. And that is how this basketball game's going to know. They're going to count the bucket, and they're going to say it was a 3 by Hammett as she hit it at the buzzer, and it makes your final score 55-31. We've got your Abel's postgame show coming up next here on Eagle 102.
The Eagle 102 postgame show is coming up, brought to you by Abel's Quick Shops.
Here's one question that has no wrong answer. Are you going to choose the new Shell and Fuel Rewards card to be used at Shell stations, or the Shell and Fuel Rewards MasterCard that can be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted? With both, you save 10 cents per gallon, up to 20 gallons every time you fill up. And you also earn 10% rebates on your first $1,200 in non-fuel purchases per year at Shell stations. See? You can't go wrong with either. Visit www.shell.us/getrewards and apply today. At participating Shell stations only. Terms and conditions apply.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud.
Louisiana is a Health Mart town. Family Drug Health Mart Pharmacy. The right people, the right price, right downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hey, this is Ryan with Mid-America Auto and Towing in Bowling Green, and we've got the lot looking good and ready to go. We've got something for everybody's budget. We have a constant rotation of new inventory, including cars, trucks, and SUVs. So if you're out and you're looking for a new car, come by and see me. Mid-America Auto and Towing, just off Highway 54 in Bowling Green, is a one-stop shop. Like us on Facebook or check out our website, midamericaautoandtowing.com.
Bringing you all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth. Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Time now for the Eagle 102 postgame show on KJFM. Sponsored by Abel's Quick Shops.
Well, Bobby, in a game that we knew was going to be a battle to the end, and by battle, it doesn't necessarily reflect on the score-wise, but both teams fought extremely hard. The Bowling Green Lady Bobcats, they have some really great things to take away from this basketball game.
They do. I mean, you sit there and you look at execution-wise. If they make the easy buckets in the first half, this game probably looks a whole lot different. Obviously, they looked a little tired in the fourth quarter. They kind of, they weren't as strong with the basketball, lost it. Clopton got some easy runs out. They lost Taylor Akers a few times, which they didn't do in the third quarter. In the first 6 minutes of that quarter, they lost her there, and she kind of had a big run there in the end of the third quarter, into the fourth quarter.
Speaking of Taylor, they are recognizing seniors now. We'll try to keep up to date with that just a little bit as we talk about what's going on here in the Abel's postgame show. So the Clopton Lady Hawks got the win this evening, 55-31. Clopton led at the end of the first quarter, 11-4. Went into the locker room up 23-12 at the half. At the third quarter, they stretched the lead 40-28, and again, their final score was 55-31. In that early time there, Bobby, they got it in to within 3. Bowling Green did. They just couldn't capitalize once they got there.
No, and I think that's something you can the coach can take away from it. And like, hey, girls, we were down and out. We found a way to battle back. We made some mistakes. We gave up some stuff, and they looked tired. I mean, they really looked tired down the stretch of that ball game.
Well, they're probably tired because I think you and I both agree, even though I didn't keep track of them, I'm pretty sure that's safe to say Bowling Green out-rebounded Clopton this evening.
They did. And I think that's something that, going down looking ahead in the near future, Bowling Green's they're long, and they're going to cause people some problems, and they're only going to get better the more they understand Coach Runyon's system and the more that they just play.
All right, let's take a break here on the Abels postgame show. When we return, we'll break down the numbers from this one and continue looking at senior night. We've got boys action coming up. Again, Clopton got the win over Bowling Green in the girls' game, 55-31. You're listening to the Abels postgame show on Eagle 102.
Here's one question that has no wrong answer. Are you going to choose the new Shell and Fuel Rewards card to be used at Shell stations, or the Shell and Fuel Rewards MasterCard that can be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted? With both, you save 10 cents per gallon, up to 20 gallons every time you fill up. And you also earn 10% rebates on your first $1,200 in non-fuel purchases per year at Shell stations. See? You can't go wrong with either. Visit www.shell.us/getrewards and apply today. At participating Shell stations only. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Tylee Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from quality people. Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Bundle at Pike County Mutual Insurance and save. Ask about the great rates on your personal vehicle, farm trucks, big or small, or even your motorcycle and side-by-sides. Stop by and see myself, Corey Buchanan, Buddy Bibb, or Kathy Gamm at your hometown insurance company since 1895. Pike County Mutual Insurance on the square in Bowling Green.
Eagle 102 Sports on KJFM is brought to you by Ingram Plumbing, Bowling Green Pharmacy, and Mid-America Auto and Towing.
Well, let's run down some numbers tonight for some scoring. Leading the way tonight, leading all scorers, was Kerrigan Lockard. She put up 25 points in the night. Taylor Akers had 13. Brea Smith was 7. Logan Hall was 6. Jasmine Hammett with the big tray at the end at the buzzer. And then Madison Akers added a free throw. Leading the scoring tonight for the Bowling Green Lady Bobcats, Caitlin Charlton with 11, Grace Dieters with 10, and Kaylin Womack with 6. So that breaks down your scoring tonight and kind of sort of wraps up the Abels postgame show. But let's tell you about the seniors. There's quite a few of them actually here tonight as they're still going through it. They started with the girls basketball team. They're recognizing Taylor Akers. She is headed to the University of Missouri-Columbia to major in nursing or pre-med. Mary Margaret Garrett, she's also heading her over to University of Missouri-Columbia to major in political science. Logan Hall going to Southeast Missouri State University. She wants to major in early childhood education. And Kerrigan Lockard says she's going to Westminster College to major in sports management. For the boys this evening, Zach Evans is headed to the University of Missouri-Columbia to major in journalism. Of course, we talked about that as he's set up here and done some games with us here on KJFM. Daniel Harvey, he's looking to obtain a degree in business. His college plans aren't exactly set at this time. Gabriel Hill is headed to the Land of Lincoln Community College and doesn't quite know what he's going to major in yet, and that's okay because, the kids change their minds all the time.
All the time.
Evan Loggeman, he's headed to the University of Missouri-Columbia. He wants to major in conservation. I find that one just completely hard to believe knowing the hunter that he is.
Right.
Riley Walker, he's looking to major in athletic training. I understand he's waiting to narrow his colleges down as he's got some scholarship offers out there, and he's waiting to weigh all those out. In the manager section, Avery Hall, he's headed to the University of Missouri-Columbia to major in ag systems management. For the girls, their manager is Brooklyn McKinney. She's headed to Moberly Area Community College to major in pharmacy. And the cheerleaders, Ellie Beecham, she's headed to the University of Missouri-Columbia to major in pre-vet. And Laura Huckstep is headed to the University of Missouri to major in journalism. So nice big list there. Of course, I apologize that you have the backside of them, but their fans are facing away from us. So congratulations to each and every one of those seniors. As they get that wrapped up, I tell you what, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show for the boys next here on Eagle 102.
Here's one question that has no wrong answer. Are you going to choose the new Shell and Fuel Rewards card to be used at Shell stations, or the Shell and Fuel Rewards MasterCard that can be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted? With both, you save 10 cents per gallon, up to 20 gallons every time you fill up. And you also earn 10% rebates on your first $1,200 in non-fuel purchases per year at Shell stations. See? You can't go wrong with either. Visit www.shell.us/getrewards and apply today. At participating Shell stations only. Terms and conditions apply.
Farmers, the crew at Mike's Tire and Service Center is here to serve you. They know the hours you put in, which makes it difficult to get that equipment in for service. Therefore, they offer on-the-farm tire repair. Hi folks, my name is Cody Kirkendall, Mike's Tire and Service Center, located on Business Highway 61 in Bowling Green.
Daily life is a bit different right now than what we're used to, but let's remember that this too shall pass and try to find ways to keep positive, help others in need, spend quality time with family, exercise, pray, do something that helps you feel empowered and moving forward. Vicki Cadwalder, Real Estate, praying for good to come out of trials.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Some never even fill their prescription, even if they don't feel well. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, your local Health Mart pharmacy is here to help. For fast, friendly service and affordable prices every day, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
It's time now for the Eagle 102 pregame show, sponsored by Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Well, we have one game in the books this evening. The Clopton Lady Hawks got the win over Bowling Green 55-31. Now we're about to turn our attention to the boys matchup as the senior night activities are winding down here. Girls are still posing with their picture underneath the basket, so the boys haven't come out of the locker room tonight. If you were watching online and you saw the seniors line up and you're like, well, where was Avery Hall? You mentioned he was a manager. If you weren't with Jim Ross and I last night, Avery Hall had ACL surgery yesterday and came straight to the game. So he is on crutches, so he opted not to walk out there with his mom and dad and everybody else as he stayed on the side, and they honored him off to there. Avery again tonight on the crutches, and we saw him last night even carrying some equipment, so he was pretty dedicated. So, Jim Ross, so nice of you to join us this evening.
Well, there's a couple things I can tell you.
Don't tell me anything.
The parking lot's a mess.
It is.
It's packed.
It was.
Social distancing's out the window.
It is.
So COVID must not be going on around here. So it's all good, right?
It's all good. We got high school basketball tonight. Do we think we're going to see a different matchup than what we saw last night? You and I were both a little shocked at the outcome of last night's games, and I got to tell you, I'm anxious to see what we're going to see tonight.
I think we're going to see a rock'em sock'em affair. I think Bowling Green's big enough and physical enough to stand with the Hawks. The question will be, can they score enough baskets to stay with the Hawks?
I tell you what, I'm really glad that you're here to call the play-by-play for that, because I have a feeling I would need some oxygen, and I couldn't keep up. As you mentioned, both these teams, why maybe one of them doesn't like to run and gun, they can.
Well, they showed that last night. You know, Clopton generally likes to control tempo, and they controlled it last night, and it was fast.
It was.
I think they scored 67, if I remember right, last night.
I think so.
They can go up and down, score points if they want. That's not normally their MO. They usually like the score to be into the 50s. But last night they cut it loose and showed they can go up and down with anybody. And
I think they're going to have to do that again tonight.
Well, this is a good challenge for them. You know, they've won 10 of their last 11, I believe. With last night's win, their only loss to the conference, the assumed conference champion, Montgomery County. And so they need to be challenged going into district, as their district is tough in that they got a Wellsville, Middletown they're going to run into, and then if they get past them, they'll have to face probably the host team, New Haven, at New Haven, and that's never easy. And we pondered the reasoning.
Well, I found out a couple things.
Did you? Well, good, because I looked. They're 19-4.
I can't discuss it, but there was apparently some.
New Haven did beat them early in the year, and then New Haven did beat Montgomery about 2 weeks ago. So They've got a couple of
Okay,
win,
so maybe you know what the reasons are.
a win over Clopton, but that was back in November. But a quality win against Montgomery. But still, you look at the records, Clopton's 19-4, and New Haven's got seven or eight losses, I think 14-8 maybe or something like that.
This whole season has enough to make you go home, Jim.
Well, as we talked a little bit last night as well, you kind of have to throw the records out the window because especially early in the year, you don't know who available because of the virus and all the stuff that was going on, particularly heavy early in the season. So, take the Bowling Green boys, for instance. They lost their first 8 games.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell it by watching them play now.
Yeah, and so that means they're 6-3 since then.
Yeah.
So they've played a lot better. They figured out how to play defense. They still are challenged a bit offensively, particularly from outside. I was talking to one of the parents down here before I came up here from Bowling Green, and boy, if they had a guard that could shoot or an off guard that could shoot from 3 consistently, boy, that would free things up for this Bowling Green team. They would be hard to hold, but they don't. So they work with what they've got with. They'll use their physicality. This will be a defense. This is going to be. You aren't old enough to remember National Geographic when they used to have those shows. Remember the 2 Rams running each? Yeah, that's what this is going to be like defensively. 2 Rams running into each other because both these teams like to get after it on the defensive end of the floor, and that's what we're going to see tonight.
Well, probably a little difference, too, from last night, too. These teams are pretty evenly matched when it comes to height for the most part.
Yeah, without a doubt. Size and physically, Bowling Green will be able to stand side by side with Clopton, unlike last night where there was I think the tallest player for Van Far was 6 foot. The smallest starter for Clopton was 6 foot. So they were up against it from the get-go, and they really, really played well last night, actually.
All right, we'll take a break here on the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show. When we return, we'll tackle keys to the game. Brought to you by Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate here on Eagle 102.
Daily life is a bit different right now than what we're used to. Some are feeling the effects more than others, but let's remember that this too shall pass and try to find ways to keep positive, help others in need, continue to support our businesses as best we can, but also take this time of distancing and shutdowns to self-reflect and improve. Spend quality time with family, exercise, pray, tackle a home improvement project, even if it's just a power cleaning inside and out, but do something that helps you feel empowered and moving forward. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, praying for good to come out of trials.
The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing Merc BK Mobile. With the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account, you'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Never even fill their prescription, even if they don't feel well. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, your local Health Mart pharmacy is here to help. For fast, friendly service and affordable prices every day, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Time now for the Eagle 102 Keys to the Game on KJFM, sponsored by Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate in Louisiana.
Well, keys to the game tonight. If it's anything based on the girls' game, Jim, I think probably the first thing that needs to be tackled tonight is handle the basketball.
Handle the basketball, stay out of foul trouble. Something we haven't seen at Clopton. I mean, they go, 6, 7 deep, but inside they don't. If they get in foul trouble with Evans or Hill, or both of them, they don't really have the experienced backup big guys to come in and help. They've been fortunate that those guys don't get into foul trouble. And against this bigger Clopton or bigger Bowling Green team, that will be a challenge for them. And, of course, the key for Bowling Green is they got to get to the rim and pound the offensive glass because they got to score everything inside the arc if they can. Michael Starks can shoot it if he would happen to get freed up and find his mark tonight. That would help for the Bobcats. But this could be a good game, and if things don't go Bowling Green's way, it could be ugly.
It could. Well, you're talking about people staying in the game, and really Dylan Dalton, Gunnar Bryant, 2 of the names that with the Bobcats that they need to stay in there. They do have a little bit more height. You can see Yep. Heidecker, he can come in there and get, some positions. Charlie Bowen, even though he's not a real big, tall guy by any means, he's good at positioning himself underneath the basket. But really, Gunnar Bryant and Dylan Dalton, those are the two names you want to stay in there. I think we'll probably see Harrison Hunt come off the bench some. He adds some nice height to the Bobcats as well. You mentioned Michael Starks, if he could get, hot this evening, or even his brother Marcus, that would be helpful as well.
So we'll have to see how it all plays out. How this game is officiated is going to be key, because I think it's going to be pretty physical.
Yes.
If they call it touch stuff, that could cause problems for both teams. So that'll come into play as well. And while I'm thinking about it, I see Daryl Chapman standing over there, and he did not take that grill to my house last night. I caught up with him on the way home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I was flashing my lights saying, that's mine.
But I noticed that your hot dog.
But he didn't cook it. He wasn't out there cooking this hot dog. So, Daryl, you're on my list, my friend.
I'm sure he's really worried about that.
He looks like it, doesn't he?
He does. He's probably thinking, I can get that barbecue loaded quicker than Jim can get to it. So
absolutely.
All right. Well, let's take another break here on Eagle 102. When we return, we'll talk about district basketball that kicks off tomorrow as you're listening to the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show on Eagle 102.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life, and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Need a little good news in your life? State Farm has new, lower car insurance rates in Missouri, so you can now get the service and convenience of State Farm agent Cindy Blaylock at an even better price. Call me today at 573-754-5575. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102 is brought to you by Community State Bank of Missouri, Family Drug, and Pike County Health Department, Home Health and Hospice.
Well, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, districts for Class 2 and 3 actually kick off tomorrow. We'll have 2 games for you right here on Eagle 102. Both games happen to be at 2 o'clock. Mark will make the trip to Sturgeon as the #4 Silex Lady Owls will take on the #5 Sturgeon Lady Bulldogs. That game, of course, on air at 102.1, online if you want to listen at kjfmradio.com, on the KJFM Radio app, and on Alexa. I will be at Van Far as #3 Van Far hosts #6 Wellsville Middletown. And Jim, as I was reminding people a little bit earlier, just need to remind everybody there will be no video for most games probably in districts. I know I read it another one from the school that if there is someone who is kind enough to provide Misha TV with video, you can pay money to watch some of the games, but someone has to provide them video content.
Well, another anomaly to tomorrow is Louisiana, who's playing Mark Twain tonight. They are playing Van Far in a boys game only tomorrow morning.
At 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock.
They are. And then really Mark Twain, obviously, as you mentioned, are playing Louisiana right now. They are playing Montgomery County early in the day, and then they are playing, I can't remember if it's North Callaway. There's another team that they're playing
tomorrow?
later in the afternoon.
Good Lord.
Look, you know what? I have this handy-dandy, fancy little computer, and on KJFMradio.com, it will tell me who they're playing.
Really? But it's, computers are garbage in, garbage out, good stuff in, good stuff out. Who put that in there?
Me. Do you know how many Twitter feeds and Facebook posts I have scoured for the last 2 weeks
I
trying
would
to get
imagine plenty, because it's been wild and woolly these last couple of weeks for sure.
Let's look here. So Mark Twain boys and girls play plays Montgomery County at 11, and then Ellsbury at 2:15.
Are they playing it in the same gym at Mark Twain? Is that where they're playing?
They're all playing them at Mark Twain. Yes.
Huh.
So
that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and as you said, districts start at 2 o'clock. I always thought they had to have the games done by the time districts started, but maybe I'm.
Well, but all those teams have buys, first round buys. So my guess is that, well, obviously Montgomery County's season's not over with yet because they're Class 4, and then Ellsbury, they have the the boys don't play until Monday. I think it is Monday or Tuesday, and the girls had a first-round bye. So I guess they have a little extra time.
Well, and the Class 4 districts came out yesterday or today, and both Bowling Green teams play Centralia, and that's not really too bad a draw for the Bowling Green boys. For the Bowling Green girls, yowza. That girls district, Montgomery County's 16-6, and they're the number 4 seed in that district. Bowling Green will play Centralia. They're 15-6 or something like that. That's not counting tonight's games, obviously. They are the only team to beat the Monroe City girls this year. Centralia.
Yeah.
So they're loaded up, and they're the 3 seed behind Macon and Hallsville, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough district over there that Bowling Green is playing in. And it's a little different this year because that they were moved up to a Class 4. Now, I mean, the teams that normally are Class 3 with them got moved up to a Class 4 too, so it's not like they're really seeing anybody different.
Right.
Because Montgomery got moved up, North Callaway got moved up. So there's some teams that you see that they face similarly throughout the year, but it's still just a little bit different. And I think you would have to, if I was a Bowling Green player, it would be odd knowing I'm not playing my postseason the same time I've been playing with everybody else in the area.
Right. Well, and if the folks at home don't know, Missouri added a 6th class to basketball this year, just as they did in football, and then they expanded softball by a class as well. So what used to be 8-team districts in softball and basketball and football, that's all out the window this year with this extra class.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and so you have it's watered down. Let's just be frank about it.
It is a little bit. And I was talking to somebody a little bit earlier. You know, we don't actually have the one school that all the games are played at for district weeks. Someone made the comment that they wonder if this will be something that will stick if they don't have.
I can't hardly believe that.
Jim, let's be honest with some of the things we have seen here in the last couple of years. Are you sure?
Well, no, I'm not sure of anything when it comes to the Missouri State High School Activities Association, but I don't understand the district thing because we play tournaments all year.
Yeah, well, you know, that's why we get paid.
Go figure.
We get paid to sit up here and talk basketball instead of making those decisions. But either way, I think it was something of, well, no, that still doesn't make sense. We even have fewer teams in those district tournaments than we have in the tournaments that we've been around. But that's what they decided. That's what we'll have to go with. Stay tuned to Eagle 102. We'll have a district basketball for you all week next week right here on Eagle 102. That's going to take care of the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show. We've got your starting lineups and opening tip next here on Eagle 102.
This is Kyle Schurter, Assistant Vice President at Community State Bank of Missouri. We offer a variety of loans to meet your needs. Whether you're looking for a conventional loan or a HELOC or an FHA, VA, or USDA loan, give us a call. We have some of the best rates around. Community State Bank of Missouri, your hometown community bank since 1887, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Here's one question that has no wrong answer. Are you going to choose the new Shell and Fuel Rewards card to be used at Shell stations, or the Shell and Fuel Rewards MasterCard that can be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted? With both, you save 10 cents per gallon, up to 20 gallons every time you fill up. And you also earn 10% rebates on your first $1,200 in non-fuel purchases per year at Shell stations. See? You can't go wrong with either. Visit www.shell.us/getrewards and apply today. At participating Shell stations only. Terms and conditions apply.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service. But did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Some never even fill their prescription, even if they don't feel well. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, your local Health Mart pharmacy is here to help. For fast, friendly service and affordable prices every day, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
The Eagle 102 starting lineups on KJFM are sponsored by Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy.
All right, Jim Ross, I think we're ready for starting lineups. Of course, the Bowling Green Bobcats are the guests on the scoreboard this evening in their road black jerseys. Road road black jerseys with red numbers and white trim. You ready? Got it?
I'm like lunch meat.
Oh, my gosh.
Starting for the Bowling Green Bobcats, a 6-foot senior, number 1, Michael Starks. A 5'8" junior, number 10, Owen Niemeyer, and I think he's taller than 5'8".
Oh, yeah.
I ran into him outside. 6'1" sophomore, number 22, Gunnar Bryant. A 5'9" junior, number 33, Charlie Bowen. And a 5'11" junior, number 35, Caden Chandler. So it'll be Chandler, Bowen, Bryant, Niemeyer, and Starks for head coach Brandon McCann. A little different look for them tonight from the last time I saw them play. For the Hawks, a 6'2" senior, number 1, Daniel Harvey. A 6'2" junior, number 33, Mason Street. A 6'4" senior, number 34, Gabriel Hill.
Gabriel Hill, look at you
go.
go.
Look at me go. 6'1" senior, number 42, Riley Walker. And a 6'2" senior, number 44, Zach Evans. So it'll be Harvey.
We missed Loggeman.
Oh, Loggeman starting instead of.
He is starting. They're starting all seniors here on senior night.
Oh, they're crossing me out.
Yep, they started them instead of Mason
Street. Okay, Loggeman instead of Street. So it'll be Harvey, Walker, Evans, Loggeman, and Hill for Tony Francis. They're 19-4. Bowling Green's 6-11. And we're ready to go here. Bryant against Harvey, and Clopton will control the opening tip there in their home whites. As Marion said, they'll move from our left to our right on your radio dial here in this first half. Bowling Green comes out in a man-to-man defense, and as we said, they will match up size-wise with the Hawks. A lot of big bodies on the floor here in this game. Evans left corner now to Harvey. Looks skip pass to the near sideline to Walker. Walker ball fakes now to the head of the key to Harvey. He'll back up, gets it to Evans in the far corner. He'll drive left baseline, goes up off the glass, no good. Rebound to Bowling Green. That's Chandler ahead to Starks. Starks with the pedal on the metal, and he misses the shot. Gets banged in, but Bryant there to scoop up the garbage. Now he'll make the first bucket of the night for either club. And the Cats jump on top 2-0.
We talked about him being key underneath the basket for the Cats.
They will crash the offensive board, so Clopton is going to have to block out on the defensive end because that's where they want to try and get their points. As the ball goes inside, knocked away from Hill. First turnover of the game, and Bobcats come back with their second offensive possession. Niemeyer with it now, guarded by Evans. Gets it to Bowen. Bowen had the key, right wing now to Starks. He'll penetrate into the lane, still keeps his dribble, backs up, and they'll reset now with 6:45 to play in the first. Bowen with it now to Niemeyer. Niemeyer just to the left of the head of the key, and they throw it in the left corner, and it's going to be an illegal pick on Caden Chandler.
Well, that's for them saying he's 5'11".
Yeah, I don't think many of these heights are right, to be quite honest with you. We used to make ourselves look taller, not shorter in the program. Evans into the front court now, hands it off to Harvey. Head of the key to Loggeman. Left wing to Walker now. Bobcats up 2-0. We're just underway. Jim Ross, Marion Everhart, glad to have you with us. Bowling Green in a sagging man-to-man defense. Evans in the far corner now. Gets it back to Walker outside the arc. A little slower pace than we had last night already. Walker gets to the short corner now, whips it to Evans. He'll drive down the paint. His runner's off the mark, and we've got a travel. Second turnover on the Hawks. Gives it back to Bowling Green. No full court pressure. A little token pressure as Harvey will wait at half court for Niemeyer to get there.
And actually, he follows Starks.
And that he does. Starks has it now to Chandler. Right wing now to Niemeyer. Niemeyer gets it inside to Bryant. He goes up in a crowd. It won't go. Walker on the defensive glass for the Hawks. To Evans. Now they'll look to run up to Hill. Defense is back. He'll go in against a double team and puts it off the glass and scores. In a crowd, Hill with the first bucket of the night for the Hawks. We're tied at 2. Bowen now, right wing to Niemeyer. To Bryant at the head of the key. Left wing to Bowen. Bowen to Niemeyer as they work it around. Clopton in a man-to-man as well. They very seldom play anything but man. Actually, that's the case for both teams. Hill on the steal. He'll take it in. He's got Bryant on him, and he's got an offensive foul. Bryant got to him, and Hill gave him a little shoulder to get him out of the way. That's what we talked about in the pregame about the physicality. Bowling Green's going to be able to match up with him size-wise, and that cause Hill to draw the offensive foul as Lagerman will check out. Street in for the Hawks, first sub of the game for either club.
Well, and I noticed immediately Coach Francis told Hill, just go up with it.
Well, he should have just went in and shot the layup.
That's what I'm saying. Just go on. Don't stop.
Shot from about 16 by Starks is short. There the Cats on the offensive glass. Into Starks, his runner up and good. Marcus Starks with his first bucket. Check that. Michael Starks with his first bucket of the night. And it's 4-2. We're down to 4:45 to play in the first. Street on the right side, drives right baseline. Now goes all the way underneath the basket to Evans. Left wing, 3 on the way, short. Rebounds loose. Chandler tips it out. Right to Starks. He'll go to the glass, and it's going to be knocked out by Harvey before he can get to the basket. And Bowling Green will have it underneath their own hoop. Left side of the paint. 4-2, Bowling Green on top. 4:33 to play here in the first. Bowen to trigger it in for the Cats. He looks, finds Chandler on the near sideline, back to Heather Key Niemeyer. He'll penetrate into the lane, spins to the middle. His shot's blocked. It's loose. Chandler will pick up the loose ball. All the loose balls going Bowling Green's way here in the early going. Left wing to Niemeyer. He's guarded by Harvey on a pick and roll with Chandler. Gives it to Chandler on the roll. He'll back his way down into the block. Can't get a shot away. Gives it to Bryant. His shot from 15 is no good. And Chandler gets knocked in the head accidentally by Zach Evans, and he'll pick up his first foul. Second team foul. And Bowling Green will keep it underneath their own basket. Down to 4:11 to play in the first. 4-2, yep, a slow offensive start for both teams. On the inbounds, they get it to Chandler on the far block, and he goes up in a crowd, and they're going to call an offensive foul on him as he tried to make some space after he got in the double team. That's his second, so he'll come to the bench. And up off the bench quickly, Dylan Dalton will check in for him.
Yeah, he kind of lowered his shoulder and head, tried to push around. And
kind of just like Hill did on the other end. So good sign the officials made the same call on both ends. That's all you can ask for. 4:07 to play in the first, 4-2. Bowling Green still on top. Evans in the backcourt, guarded by Bowen. Gets it into the front court, now to Walker. Hands it off to Harvey, back to Evans, head of the key. Inside to Walker, he's open on the backdoor cut, layup up and good. Riley Walker with the first 2 points of the night. And it's tied, we're tied at 4. Stark calls play number 1 for the Bobcats. To Niemeyer. Niemeyer, he'll pull up from 16. Front of him, no good. Walker on the glass with the rebound for the Hawks. Evans gets it ahead to Hill. He'll go to the glass. He runs over Starks, and it's an offensive foul, and that's going to be 2 on Hill.
He's going to sit down. Tyler Kuntz is going to come in.
And what did we talk about in the pregame?
Yep, I know. There we go.
Kuntz will come in. Hill will take a seat with 2. Tony Francis' normal MO is to not play him after they get their second, but I'm guessing if play dictates that Hill needs to come back in, he'll be back in. We'll see how it shakes out. Starks with it now, goes down the paint. He runs over Evans, and they're going to call what?
Foul on Evans.
I don't think they made a call. I think they just called it out of bounds as the ball got flipped to the far sideline. Evans did get run over. I don't think the officials knew what to call as the ball went flying out to the sideline and about 2 rows up. So the Cats get it back. Bowen in the left corner. Now that was a weird play. Into Dalton, right block, and he's whistled for the travel. Yeah, it's pretty physical, just what we expected.
I feel before the end of the game we're going to wonder if this is a basketball game or a football game.
I'm not going to deny that's a possibility. Walker at the head of the key for the Hawks. We're tied at 4, 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Harvey, left wing, tries to hit the Evans cutting back court, is stolen away and then thrown away by the Bobcats as the lead pass was too far ahead of Bryant, and the Hawks get it right back. Evans right wing, head of the key to Kuntz. Left wing now to Harvey. Harvey to Evans, he'll shoot the 3. It's a deep one, it's good. Zach Evans with his first field goal tonight, and the Hawks take their first lead at 7-4. Starks left wing now to Bowen. Bowen back to Dalton, now to Starks, right wing. Guarded by Street. He'll penetrate in. No look pass underneath to Dalton. He makes his catch on the low pass and scores. Dylan Dalton with a good look that time. And the lead pass from Harvey to Street is in the cheerleaders of Bowling Green.
They didn't want to play. They want to stand and cheer.
4th turnover of the game for the Hawks.
Charlie Bowen takes a seat as Heidecker checks in the basketball game now for the Cats.
Heidecker, another athletic player with some size. He's listed at 6 foot. I'm not buying that either. Dalton now right wing to Niemeyer. Niemeyer drives right baseline, nothing doing. Kicks it back to Bryant. Bryant now to Heidecker. Heidecker penetrates to the right block. Good defense, stops him there. Now whipping around Dalton now to Niemeyer. Niemeyer left wing. Back to Heidecker. Heidecker, he's open from 3. He'll let it go. Back to him, no good. Gets his own rebound and hands it off to Bryant. Bryant in the far corner, back to Heidecker. Down to 1:34 to play here in the first. 7-6. Clopton on top. Heidecker.
Well, I don't know if we'll see that 67 points tonight like we did last night.
And his shot's up and good as Walker tried to take the charge. Maybe a little too much Hollywood that time. He's good at it, but the Academy Award's not coming out here in the first quarter.
And Bowling Green has the lead once again this evening.
8-7. Down to 1:05 to play. Evans penetrates in, and he gets hit as he goes to the bucket, and there's a whistle and a foul. And Evans will go to the line and shoot 2 shots.
And that goes against Gunnar Bryant. As Evans heads to the charity stripe, as you mentioned, he'll get 2.
Clopton, historically a pretty good free throw shooting team. They've had some bumps in the road this year from the charity stripe. Evans drains the first, however.
Jim, I'm not going to lie to you, I was a little concerned. I was looking down here just a moment ago, and Brooke and Luke Colbert's daughter was up here and like reaching for you. I feel that they, I'm not sure what they were doing to that poor child for her.
She likes my glasses.
It has to be the glasses.
It's the glasses. Second free throw rattles home for Evans. And the Hawks retakes the lead at 9-8. Down under a minute to play now in the first. Starks has it now well outside the arc on the left wing. To Dalton, head of the key, right wing now to Niemeyer. Underneath the Bryant in the short corner on the right side. Back to Niemeyer to Starks between the circles. They'll reset now with 40 seconds to play. Left wing to Heidecker. He spins out of trouble, and he'll pull up from 10. His shot is partially blocked, but they'll whistle Tyler Kuntz for his first foul of the night. And Braden Heidecker will go to the line and shoot 2 shots.
Well, and that's one of those ones that Tyler knew as soon as he did it that he shouldn't have done it. And again, that's an underclassman just going to have to learn from those mistakes.
Heidecker, the right-hander, fires the first, rattles around and drops.
Nice free throw shooting tonight from the Bobcats, and we're tied at 9-all.
Front of the rim, backboard, and into the hoop. He'll get a second. Nice patient motion and good stroke. He makes them both. And another lead change. Now a little full court man pressure by Bowling Green. Walker gets it to Harvey. Now they'll back up as Harvey gets it into the front court. Right wing now to Kuntz. Kuntz to Walker. He lobs it inside. Too tall for Evans. And the 5th turnover will give it back to Bowling Green with 23 ticks to play in the quarter. Bobcats on top, 10-9. I'm guessing they'll play for one. They'll dribble to the right side here and get it to Heidecker, head of the key. He looks inside, down to 11 seconds to Niemeyer. Niemeyer down to 7. Niemeyer looking for a pick. Niemeyer gets it to Heidecker. He goes in, shoots a runner from 15 off the mark and no good, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Slow scoring quarter, but a good quarter nonetheless. The Cats lead at 10-9. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only one part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact me, Kayla Caldwell, your Edward Jones financial advisor, at 2604 Georgia Street in Louisiana. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Show off your school pride today with the Bulldog debit card from Bank of Louisiana. Every time you use your Bulldog debit card, Bank of Louisiana will make a donation to the Louisiana School District. Stop by the bank today and get your new Bulldog debit card so you can start supporting the teachers and students with every swipe. The Bulldog debit card from Bank of Louisiana. Member FDIC.
Bringing you all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth. Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Well, we played 8 minutes. Nothing decided as the Bobcats lead at 10-9.
Oh, we did decide this is going to be a physical game.
We did.
We decided it's probably not going to be a very high-scoring game.
We did.
So lots of has been decided, just not score.
We'll see if that all holds true.
They have a tendency to make liars out of us.
A lot of basketball left to
A
play.
whole lot of basketball.
Bowling Green will have it to start the second quarter. Heidecker, Niemeyer, Dalton, Bryant, and Starks for the Bobcats. Starks has it just inside his arc. Backs up now, left wing to Heidecker. He'll shoot the three. Good. Braden Heidecker, give him 5 for the game. And the lead is the biggest of the night for either club at 4, 13-9. Evans gives it off to Kuntz to Street. It's deflected out of bounds by Niemeyer, though, and it'll go back to the Hawks at middle court. For the Hawks, Evans, Street, Kuntz, Walker, and Harvey. As we start the second quarter, Evans takes the inbounds pass. Left wing now to Street. Street to Kuntz. Right wing to Harvey. Harvey penetrates in, pulls up from about 10 and drops it. Got a good shooter's touch that time off the front of the rim. And it's 13-11. Bowling Green. Niemeyer back into the front court for the Cats. To Heidecker. Heidecker's come in and been a spark for the Cats. I keep wanting to call them the Dogs. They got dogs and cats mixed up. Bryant with a turnaround jumper from the right block, and it goes down. He's got 6. Back to a 4-point lead for the Bobcats, and Evans got away with a travel. Kicks it outside to Harvey. Now to Walker. He'll drive right baseline. His shot's blocked from behind. There's Street for the rebound. His shot's partially blocked. Harvey now has it. He'll go back up with it and scores. Wow, great work on the offensive glass by the Hawks that time. Just efforts, all that was. And they cut the lead back to 2 at 15-13. Heidecker left wing gets it into Dalton. Left block. Dalton shoots a turnaround shot. It's off the mark, no good. They'll kick it out Street to Kuntz. Kuntz takes it in, and Bryant's going to be whistled for the block. And to the free throw line will go Mason Street.
Tyler Kuntz.
He'll get 2 shots. Tyler Kuntz.
Mm-hmm. I knew that's what you meant.
That's what I meant. They almost look alike. That's funny. Kuntz makes his first free throw.
I have no room to talk when I get to Akers and Locker. It's screwed up all the time.
Yeah, they're even more different than.
Yeah, I don't know. Bobby Spoonster and I were talking about that before. I just don't know. I don't have a good excuse.
You do?
I don't.
Charlie Bowen back in for Bowling Green as Kuntz misses his second free throw, but the Hawks get the offensive rebound. Harvey to the left block, kicks it out to Walker, head of the key, now to Evans, left wing to Harvey. Harvey tries to force it inside. It's batted free. It's loose. Walker will come away with it. He's got Street all by himself underneath, and he'll score the bucket.
And Street, where things just weren't falling his way last night, things seem to be going a little bit better for him this evening.
Right man, right spot that time for sure. And Hawks retake the lead at 16-15. Bryant loses the handle, and he's gobbled up by Street. Still loose, and it's going to go out of bounds off of,
I think, Starks. Bryant took a seat just a little bit ago.
Let's see who they're going to give it to. They're going to give it to
Bowling
the
Green.
Bobcats. Yeah, deep in the corner, right at the end of the Clopton bench. Yeah. Heidecker to throw it in. To Starks. It's deflected and saved in by Heidecker. Starks now into the paint. Goes to the right block. Shot high off the glass. Won't go. Evans with the rebound to Harvey. Ahead to Walker. Can he get to the glass first? He does. Count the bucket and the foul.
Oh, my. And that was a nice shot over his shoulder as he was headed out of bounds. I don't even know that he saw that it was going in.
A little reverse action for him, and Heidecker commits the foul and the cardinal sin of we've talked about all year. If you're going to foul on a layup, make sure they don't get the shot away.
That's right. Evan Logman checks back in the basketball games as Zach Evans takes a seat. He'll get a breather.
Walker to the free throw line, makes the free throw. And the lead now for the Hawks is 4 points, matching the biggest lead by either club. A little 8-point swing here right in the middle of this second quarter. Heidecker fires a deep three, in and out, no good. Lagerman with the rebound for the Hawks. To Walker, he'll hand it off to Harvey. Harvey heads the offensive end with 5:15 to play in the first half. Harvey gets the streak going back door. He makes the catch, can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, puts it up and scores. Mason Street, bundle of energy, and there's a timeout on the floor. We'll step aside as well. Clopton 21, Bowling Green 15. Listen to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Pike County, Missouri Health Department is accepting appointments for upcoming COVID vaccination clinics. Appointments can be made online at www.pikecountyhealth.org or by calling our office at 573-324-2111. These will be on a first-come, first-served basis. This upcoming clinic is scheduled for Wednesday, February 24th at the Bowling Green Church of the Nazarene.
High school sports on KJFM is brought to you by Pike County Mutual Insurance, Brown's Processing, and Bank of Louisiana.
Well, Mason Street, a bundle of energy here in this second quarter. He's got 4 points and help lead Clopton back on top. Their biggest lead of the night at 6, 21-15.
I tell you what, it kind of started there, I think, with a little bit of Riley Walker getting getting that ball down there. When you make that reverse, whatever you want to call it, down there, and it goes in, and then you sink the free throw, that kind of gets that momentum swinging in your direction.
That does. 5 quick points, and they've stretched it out. Bowling Green was ahead by 4 not too long ago. Into the game now for Bowling Green. As they get it inside to Dalton, back to Heidecker. Brandon Gamm in for the Bobcats, along with Charlie Bowen. Bowen's going to shoot the three, head of the key. It's off the mark. Starks on the offensive glass. His putback's up and good.
He's got some nice hops. Of course, we saw that during football season as well.
Hawks pushing it up the floor. They give it to Evans. He misses the wide open look. He's got a give and go from Walker and couldn't get it to go. And now on the break, Starks has it swatted from behind, out of bounds by Street. So we're starting to see a little bit from the Hawks of what we saw last night. Rather than playing slow, they're sped it up.
Yeah.
And it's worked to their advantage as they've taken the lead, which is now down to 4 at 21-17 with 4:20 to play in the half.
Let's go!
Heidecker inbounds it to Gamm. Back to Bowen. Now he'll hand it back to Gamm, and they'll reset the offense. Right wing now to Heidecker. To Dalton. Dalton at the head of the key, left wing to Gamm. Gamm looks for Bowen as they run a little shuffle cut offense against this man-to-man. Look for a pick and roll, and the guy coming from the backside underneath the basket. Gamm now has it as they work around the horn with 3:50 to play here in the half.
I'll say Bobcats being very patient, running their offense, looking for a good shot instead of just forcing something.
Gamm left wing now, ahead of the key to Dalton. Dalton right wing to Heidecker. Heidecker steps outside the arc, guarded by Evans. To Gamm. Gamm inside, and Walker's going to be whistled for a foul away from the ball, I think.
That's exactly what they're doing.
He and Bowen were having arm-to-arm combat inside.
Arm-to-arm, huh? Tyler Coons returns to the basketball game. So Riley Walker picks up his first foul. And again, these two probably played pretty physical during the football season as well.
I would guess they did.
Yeah. I know for a fact they did.
On the inbounds, Cats have it. Bowen on the right block against Walker, and he's going to be whistled for the travel. Walker all over him. Gave him a good enough shove to get him to travel.
I think we'll probably see that matchup all night.
That we will. Hawks get it back, leading by 4. Evans into the front court now, dribbles to the left wing, hands it off to Kuntz. Kuntz back to Harvey. Harvey skip pass right wing now to Street. Street skips it right back to Evans on the left wing. Now between the circles to Walker. Walker, ball fakes, had Harvey back door but couldn't get it to him. To Evans left wing now. He'll shoot a deep three, about 23 feet. It's good. Zach Evans has got 8. And the lead grows to 7 for the Hawks at 24-17. Bobcats need a bucket. Bobcats don't want to get caught up in all this physicality stuff. You still got to play the game and score baskets. Heidecker left wing to Gamm between the circles. Gamm to Heidecker. Back on the left wing again. He'll penetrate in to the right elbow, goes down to paint. His shot's off the mark, and he'll run over the top of Evans, and it's an offensive foul on Braden Heidecker.
So that's his second, right?
It is.
Well, the only thing is Evans wants to be careful. They don't want, he doesn't want to get himself in a position for him to get into some foul trouble. They already have Gabriel Hill on the bench with 2 fouls, so they don't need Evans to go out as well. But Bowling Green, man, they're still playing physical underneath that basket. And I'll tell you what, it's a fun game.
That it is. Hawks bring it back to the offensive end, up by 7, 24-17, 2:20 to play in the half. Street right wing, he'll drive right baseline. He gets it to the block, up off the glass, and no good. Ball's tipped out to Evans. Evans will drive left baseline. He loses the handle, though, stolen away by Niemeyer. 6th turnover by the Hawks here in the first half. Niemeyer comes back for Bowling Green, slashes down the paint. His running one-hander won't go. A little scoop shot, actually. And they'll call the foul on, I'm not sure who. Looks like they're going to call it on Harvey, his first. And Niemeyer will go to the line.
Well, just since word got back to her last time that I gave her a hard time when she was running the board, that'd be Mrs. Holland that's down there running it now. Again, we won't say that we prefer when Becky Yates is down there doing it to Beth, but, you know.
Niemeyer's first free throw is good. You go ahead with your editorial stuff. That's okay.
Well, they did have the JV game over in the gym, so.
Maybe they switched.
They did.
Second free throw by Niemeyer is good as well. And we've got a sub in the game.
Marcus Starks will come in.
Didn't see him before they threw the inbounds pass, so they'll stop it and let him get into the game. As who took a seat, was it? Heidecker to the bench.
Yep.
A little full court pressure this time by Bowling Green. Full court man. Street breaks it. Has a 3-on-3. Now he'll slow it down to Harvey. Harvey to Walker. Now to Evans. Evans just had that hot hand of late. Kuntz now on the right wing to Harvey. Harvey gets to Street. He nearly has it stolen away by Niemeyer, but maintains his composure and gets it to Kuntz. And it's going to be deflected off of Starks and off of Kuntz and goes out of bounds back to the Bobcats. 7 turnovers. That's a lot for Clopton in this first half. Like we mentioned last night, Coach Francis says 10 for the game's all we want. They're going to get there pretty easy, I'm afraid. Back come the Cats, trailing by 5. Marcus Starks open for 3. Left corner, rattles around, hits 2 or 3 things, won't go. Niemeyer on the offensive glass, and he's, well, I don't know who's going to get the foul. Number of bodies on the floor. I think they're going to call it on Bowen from behind, actually.
That is who they call it on.
His first. And
we're walking to the other end for a 1-and-1.
That would be the 7th team foul. So Walker will go to the line and get a 1-on-1 opportunity with 1:23 to play here in the first. That would be first half.
First half, yeah.
Walker 1 for 1 so far tonight from the charity stripe. Where's number 42 on that white jersey? That will go to somebody else next year as he's a senior. He drains the first. He'll get a second.
Don't forget, we've got your Cellular and Satellite Center halftime report coming up at the end of this quarter.
Walker makes them both. And it's a 26-19 lead, matching the biggest lead of the night. At 7, down to a minute 15 to play here in the first half. Marcus with it now. That's Starks to Dalton, left wing to Niemeyer. To Michael. Michael to the free throw line. Tries to get it down low. It's loose and it'll go out of bounds off of Clopton. Back to the Hawks, or excuse me, back to the Bobcats. As Evans tried to save it in, but couldn't quite get there.
They're going to have him clean it up. We'll have to tell Zach, stop delaying the game while diving for the basketball. Well, actually, I don't think Coach Francis would appreciate me saying that at all.
Not at all. You would be put in.
I would be put in.
You'd have to go to the principal's office. You'd be put in timeout. Broadcaster's timeout. Marcus to throw it in, gets to Niemeyer right wing, head of the key now to Bowen. Bowen hands it back to Niemeyer, down to a minute to play in the half. Marcus right wing, skips it over to Bowen, right towards us, now in the near corner to Niemeyer. Niemeyer backs up behind the arc, penetrates to the free throw lane, and he's going to be fouled on the drive. It's going to be on Harvey, maybe?
No, Tyler Kuntz picks up another foul.
And to the charity stripe, we'll go Owen Niemeyer. He's perfect so far tonight. He'll get a 1-1. First one rattles around, rolls out that time. Evans with the rebound. He'll get it to Harvey. They look to push it up the court. Harvey's going to the glass. It's up, no good. But he'll be fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line with 43 ticks to play in the half. That foul will be on Michael Starks, his first. Team's 8th, 17 fouls on Clopton. And Daniel Harvey will get 2. First one's on its way and good.
And now Mason Street at least get down on the block there, so they have a little bit of token pressure should a Harvey miss. Have the opportunity to rebound. We talked about Ellsbury girls doing that where they left the blocks open.
Didn't work out very often. Harvey's second one spins in and out, but Street on the offensive glass can't find the handle. It rolls off his hands as he took a little contact, goes out of bounds back to the Bobcats. So an 8-point lead for the Hawks, 27-19. 40 seconds to play in the first half. Bobcats need a bucket here in this final 40 seconds. Bowen to Niemeyer. Niemeyer between the circles, crosses over, gets into the paint. Tries to hand it back to Starks, but it's stolen away by Street. Street spins to the hoop, up off the glass, count the bucket and the foul. Mason Street with the steal and the hoop and the harm. And he'll go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play, and that got the faithful's attention.
Yeah, it
around here. The lead is 10 now for Clopton.
I laughed because the girls were coming out of their locker room because they had 2 JV quarters over there, and they saw all that, and so they were jumping up and down as well.
Street free throws, good. And it's an 11-point lead for the Hawks. Down to 22 seconds. Now the Bobcats really need a bucket. Niemeyer gets it in the near corner to Dalton. Dalton back to Starks. Starks penetrates in, hands it off to Niemeyer, right wing this time. He'll drive to the left block, nothing doing there. Back to Bowen, right elbow jumper is off the mark, no good. Evans with the rebound. They've got 4. They've got 3. Harvey is going to be fouled by Bowen.
No.
And so with 1.4 seconds to go, we'll walk to the other end. And Daniel Harvey will have an opportunity to add to this 11-point lead by the Hawks.
All right.
Well, you got what you wish. Nobody on the lane for the Hawks.
I didn't wish that.
Harvey.
I was just simply saying that that's what they were doing.
First one's up and good. He'll get a second.
I don't completely understand that mode of thinking personally, but whatever. That's why, again, I get to sit up here and I'm not coaching.
Well, when Harvey makes both of them, it's a moot point, right?
That is correct.
So down to 1, and Starks is just going to dribble it out. That'll do it for the first half. The Hawks go to the locker on top. Convincing first half by them. They lead at 32-19. Your halftime show's next on Eagle 102.
The Eagle 102 halftime report is coming up. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Wait, there's more. They also offer several options for internet service with Viasat, HughesNet, and AT&T. Hold on, there's still more. They can also do security system installations, have TVs in stocks, mounts, and cables. Now, a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer. Bowling Green Insurance is here to serve all your insurance needs. Bowling Green Insurance offers companies to cover your farm, home, auto, and crop needs. Give Bowling Green Insurance a call today to get a quote. 573-324-CROP.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
It's now time for the Eagle 102 halftime report on KJFM, sponsored by Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green.
32-19 our score at half, a 10-9 lead for the Bobcats at the end of the first quarter. And the Hawks outscored them 23-9 in the second to take a convincing lead. to the locker room here in the first half. Let's take a look at the scoring first for the Bobcats. Nobody in double figures actually for either team. Gunnar Bryant leads the Bobcats with 6, 5 for Braden Heidecker, 4 for Michael Starks, 2 each for Owen Niemeyer and Dylan Dalton. The Bobcats were 4 for 5 from the free throw line, and they turned it over 4 times. Their biggest lead of the game was 4. That was in the first quarter. For the Hawks, they're led by Zach Evans with 8, 7 each for Riley Walker and Mason Street, along with Daniel Harvey, 2 for Gabriel Hill, and 1 for Tyler Kuntz. The Hawks were 10 for 12 from the free throw line, so they got to the line quite a bit more than the Bobcats, and they turned it over 7 times. Their biggest lead is the current lead of 13 at 32-19, and Bowling Green in the second half of that second quarter, Marianne, ran into the trouble scoring problem.
They did, and let's be honest, we watched Riley Walker do it. We kind of watched Mason Street do it. Some luck was kind of falling the Hawks' ways, too, with some of the shots that were put up. But Bowling Green is just going to have to come out and find a way to get that, I feel like Captain Obvious here, the ball through the hoop, because that's how you win basketball games. But they've had so many chances, and the ball's just not falling for them. So I'm not sure if it's rubbing a rabbit's foot or exactly what's going on that needs to get taken care of it, because they're getting the shots there. They're just not falling for them.
Let's take a break. We'll be back to give you thoughts on what could go on in the second half after this on Eagle 102.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Wait, there's more. They also offer several options for internet service with Viasat, HughesNet, and AT&T. Hold on, there's still more. They can also do security system installations, have TVs in stocks, mounts, and cables. Now a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
Is it time to renew, redo, or rebuild? I'm Christine Rutherford, and we have loans designed specifically for repairs and renovations, along with home equity lines of credit. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender, MLO number 421603, and MLS number 407724.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud.
Louisiana is a Health Mart town. Family Drug Health Mart Pharmacy. The right people, the right price, right downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hey, this is Ryan with Mid-America Auto and Towing in Bowling Green, and we've got the lot looking good and ready to go. We've got something for everybody's budget. We have a constant rotation of new inventory, including cars, trucks, and SUVs. So if you're out and you're looking for a new car, come by and see me. Mid-America Auto and Towing, just off Highway 54 in Bowling Green, is a one-stop shop. Like us on Facebook or check out our website, midamericaautoandtowing.com.
Eagle 102 Sports on KJFM is brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, County Market in Louisiana, and Bowling Green Insurance.
All right, Coach Eberhardt.
No, we're not doing this game.
Come on, what?
Because I'm what's wrong.
Well, you might as well keep your record going. What the heck?
Might as well. All I know is I'm watching this youth basketball game out here, and I like the way they sub. It's kind of like a hockey line change. They just run in and out. There's no timeouts, so I kind of like it like that.
Yep, they're playing a little youth game here at half, and they've done that a couple games we've been down here broadcasting. So, well, the Bobcats got to figure out how to score, and they got to keep Clopton off the line. They've got a little foul trouble brewing. Heidecker with 2, Gunnar Bryant with 2, Charlie Bourne with 2, Caden Chandler with 2. Keep in mind the Hawks stretched their lead out with Gabriel Hill on the bench.
They did, and I tell you what, a lot of that came, the effort, you mentioned it when you were giving the rundown of scoring. They're spreading out their scoring. Gabriel Hill, Zach Evans, they're usually, kind of the main scorers on the court. Mason Street has some really good nights, but tonight they're really spreading it all over the place. And so I don't think we'll see Gabriel sit much unless he gets in foul trouble again, but I think Bobcats have to take that into consideration that, those points were put up, as you mentioned, without Hill as a factor.
It was, and that's actually, we talked about it in the pregame about him, one of the big guys getting in foul trouble. they played very well without it. So that's got to be heartwarming if coaches ever get a warm heart for Coach Francis, that having one of the big guys on the bench isn't necessarily the devastating setback that it could be. Hawks just want to keep doing what they're doing, man. They started out this game in a control the tempo, as the first quarter score would tell you at 10-9. You know, that's a pace of 40 points.
Yeah.
Then in the second quarter, they opened up the gates and let them go up and down, and they scored 23 points in the second quarter. So we'll have to see how they want to play it in the second half. They'll have everybody back, and they'll be able to run up and down and do what they want in the second half. So the hill is pretty steep for the Bobcats, and we'll see if they've got what it takes to get back in this ballgame.
All right, that's going to do it for the Cellular Satellite Center halftime report. We'll be back with second half action after this on Eagle 102.
With winter weather upon us, remember One Multi-Sports Complex in Bowling Green is your warm, dry place to get your softball and baseball work in. Call Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green to schedule your appointment and inquire about memberships. One Multi-Sports Complex, just off VFW Road in Bowling Green.
I'm Tylee Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from quality people. Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Bundle at Pike County Mutual Insurance and save. Ask about the great rates on your personal vehicle, farm trucks, big or small, or even your motorcycle and side-by-sides. Stop by and see myself, Corey Buchanan, Buddy Bibb, or Kathy Gam at your hometown insurance company since 1895. Pike County Mutual Insurance on the square in Bowling Green.
The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing Merc BK Mobile. With the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account, you'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102 is brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, the Mercantile Bank and Bowling Green Tractor.
32-19 our score at half, as both teams are back on the floor, and they put about 3.5 minutes, or I guess about 4 minutes on the clock once the
little youth game was over with.
So
let's talk about districts tomorrow. For those who may be just joining us, we have 2 games for you here on KJFM. The Silent Lakes Lady Owls, who are the number 4 seed, will be taking on number 5 Sturgeon. Mark Froelich will have that call for you from Sturgeon High School. I'll be at Van Far High School giving you updates as the number 3 seed Van Far Lady Indians will take on number 6 Wellsville Middletown. Again, we're going to have those games the nice old-fashioned way, Jim. You get to picture it in your mind because we'll have them for you on the radio. Of course, I say on the radio, but if you're not within a radio distance, don't worry. You can still listen live at kjfmradio.com on the KJFM radio app, or you can simply say, hey, Alexa, enable my KJFM radio skill and play KJFM radio, and you can hear it that way. So we will have you covered. We'll kind of be doing that basically all the next 2 weeks as district basketball continues throughout the next 2 weeks.
the Alexa thing's actually pretty cool. I've tried it.
I really enjoy it when I get to set your Alexa off and she starts playing music just because I say it and it comes across the radio and she hears it.
Pretty neat stuff.
It
Technology's wonderful if it works, right?
If it works. So, but yes, keep in mind the video will not be provided as we have been used to all season long due to MSHA regulations or MSHA requirements maybe. If somebody provides MSHA TV with a video stream, I think you could probably pay to watch that. From what I've read from a couple different individuals, that they are not going to be providing that, and so keep that in mind. Just don't worry. We have you covered here at KJFM. That's all that we got you covered.
We've done more games this year, I think, than we've done in a long time due to the COVID thing, trying to keep everybody abreast of it, give them an opportunity with the limited attendance over the year.
And let's be honest, we didn't think we were going to be playing still. Let's be honest.
No.
We wanted to get as many games
I'm always honest. I don't have to tell people, let's be honest.
Whatever. But anyway, we really kind of decided, right up front as basketball season was coming, we wanted to get as many games in as quickly as we could, as often as we could, because we didn't know when the seasons were going to come to an end. So, we mentioned it in the first game. Bobby Spoonster and I were talking about. Hats off to the schools, the administration, the kids, the coaches for, getting us through basketball season. I don't know about you, Jim, but even the thought of not having basketball season was giving me a little anxiety.
Woo, yeah. It's we for us, We don't have any problems getting into the games either. Like some fans.
Didn't really want to say that out loud and rub that in, that we got to see all kinds of live basketball.
So the Hawks lead at 32-19. They'll have it to start the second half. They've got their original starting lineup back as Hill is back in the game. Original starters back in for Bowling Green as well. And let's see how it plays out. Hawks move from our right to our left this time on your radio dial here in the second half. Bowling Green comes out in a man-to-man. They've got to have some stops early and a bunch of them. Harvey head of the key, as Clopton will surely be content to just work the pattern and try and get good shots. And unless they do that, they throw it inside and it's turned over, stolen by Starks. Starks gets it to the offensive end, to the right baseline, still has his dribble. And now they'll reset it out front with 7:20 to play here in the third quarter. Glad to have you with us, Jim Ross, Marianne Eberhardt. Can the Cats get back into this thing? Chandler, right wing to Starks.
They absolutely can. Will they's a different story.
That's a fact. Inside to Bryant. Nice drop step move to the bucket, and he scores.
We talked about him in the pregame. It's pretty key that he stays in this basketball game just so he can do things like that underneath the basket.
No doubt about it. Evans right wing to Harvey. He lobs it to Hill, and he tries to save it in as he was falling out of bounds, but it'll go off of Niemeyer. And out of bounds back to the Hawks, left side of the paint. 32-21, our score. Clopton on top. Evans to throw it in. Looks, he gets it to Street, cutting to the basket. Can't get it to go. Kind of got twisted around as he took some contact and couldn't get it to roll. Niemeyer back for Bowling Green. Penetrates in and then throws it away. Bowen was going to the bucket. Niemeyer threw it about a step behind him. He couldn't stop to catch it, and it'll give it back to the Hawks. Evans now across the timeline for Clopton. The right wing to Harvey, to Walker to Street. Now they work it back to Harvey on a pick and roll with Walker. Harvey gets to the baseline, tries to force it inside again. It's loose on the floor. Who's going to come up with it? Chandler did, but he grabbed it on the floor and then stood up. And he knew it. Smacks his hand. You can't fault the hustle.
I was
There's no question about it.
Kid, pat yourself on the back, man. That was a great hustle there for you. You did good things there.
But nonetheless, the Hawks get it back. And they'll throw it in top of the key, extended far sideline into Evans. Between the circles, he'll reset the offense to Walker. Harvey, they work it around the horn now to Evans. Evans looks inside, decides to get it to Harvey. Now right corner to Hill. Hill to Walker between the circles, left wing now to Evans. Near corner to Harvey. Harvey on the floor, gets into the paint, stops and pops from 8. Good.
We haven't seen Harvey's fingertip roll yet tonight that he knocked down several points with that last night, but I think we'll probably see it before too terribly long. But if you can make them from the paint like that, you don't need to.
Lead back to 13, and Hawks steal it again. Now it's loose on the floor. Hawks will maintain it. Another turnover, but now Hill's going to throw it away. So back-to-back turnovers give the ball back to the Bobcats. 5:39 to play here in the third.
I feel like beginning of the third, we're acting like Oprah. You get a turnover, you get a turnover, everybody gets a turnover.
Oprah?
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. You got way too much time during the day.
Are you kidding me? Oprah's not even on now.
It means you've been watching it for a while, then, doesn't it?
It just means I'm old and I've seen it many times.
Bowen tries to force it inside. Stolen by Hawks again. They look to run. They get it to Hill. He'll spin on the block to the glass. Up and good. Gabriel Hill with a sweet move to the hole after the steal by the Hawks. And it's a 15-point lead, the biggest of the game for Clopton. Man, that was pretty.
That was.
Into the front court now. Gam, who checked into the game, to Bowen, head the key. To Bryant. Bryant, left block, kicks it back outside to Gam to Bowen. Well, the story is the Bobcats are going to have to find somebody to shoot it from 15 feet and make it, or it's not going to turn out very well tonight. Right wing now to Chandler. Chandler to Starks, hounded by Street. Now to Bowen. Bowen right wing to Chandler. Chandler crosses over at the elbow, hands it back to Gam. Gam left wing down to Bowen. He'll shoot the three. In and out. No good.
Man, that's one of those ones that goes almost all the way through and pops right back out.
That it was. Hill with the rebound. Hawks back on offense. Evans right wing. Ball fakes, penetrates into the block. Up off the glass. No good. Gets his own rebound, but we've got a whistle and a foul on the rebound. And I believe it'll be on Bryant, which will be his third.
And it looks like Dylan Dalton will come in for him.
With 4:16 to play in the third. Evans to throw it in, left side of the paint. To Hill, back to Evans. He fakes the three, goes to the right block on the glass, and good. They're trying to block that shot and going for the shot fake, as Bobby Knight used to say. And it's worked to perfection. Bryant drives down the paint. His runner won't go. Chandler with the rebound. Hits loose on the floor now. And who's going to come up with it? They're going to call traveling on Evans. I think he had it on the floor and
rolled.
Did a little flopping around. And
but I tell you what, Michael Starks, he can sure take it to the hole. When he kind of reminds me a little bit Jordan-esque. He can hit that free throw line and go for quite a while.
Bryant, or check it, Bowen to throw it in for the Bobcats. Lobs it to Dalton, too tall, but Gam will track it down. To Bowen, right wing. Bowen dribbles out of trouble in the corner and out of the wing. Now he'll penetrate to the right block, pulls up short corner, has it blocked by Hill, and it goes out of bounds off of Hill. Back to the Bobcats is Tyler Kuntz in. Mason Street will take the seat for the Hawks.
I like watching Charlie Bowen trying to make something happen there. You know, he knows he's not the tallest guy on the court, but he's going to make you work for it to block that shot.
Now on the inbounds, he finds Gam. He's open, but he's going to be clobbered from behind by Kuntz.
And that'll be his, third?
It will.
Send Gam to the free throw line. Well, he'll get the opportunity to shoot two. Only the first team foul for Clopton of the half. Bowling Green has one. 3:43 to go here in the third quarter. Clopton up 38-21.
17, the biggest lead of the game. Gam's off the glass and good. We had that last night on a shot. The bank's open tonight as well here at Clopton High School.
Well, you're here, so the banker, the banker is here.
Second free throw's off the mark. Hill with the rebound. Gets it to Harvey on the break. They'll get it out to Evans. He'll push the pace back to Hill. He'll go to the glass, and it's swatted from behind by Dalton, but picked up by Harvey, and he'll put it out back in. Daniel Harvey, right man, right spot, and it's 40-22. Well, you asked me if we were going to see what we saw last night, and I said no. And then you also said they tend to prove us wrong. They're doing the same thing again tonight.
That's okay. We're just excited to see him play.
Exactly. Bowen open left wing, gets it inside to Dalton. His turnaround from 8 is good. Dylan Dalton's got 4, and it's 40-26. A little full court man pressure this time by Bowling Green. No problem for the Hawks. Kuntz left wing right in front of the Clopton bench. Now ahead of the key to Hill. Right wing to Evans. He'll shoot the 3. Back of the ring, no good. Dalton with the long rebound. Gets it to Starks. Starks on the push for Bowling Green. Left corner to Bowen. He'll shoot it from 16. Short, no good. And we've got a whistle on a rebounding foul. And is that going to be on Kuntz?
Nope. They're
called on Hill.
No, they called it on Evans. Didn't he? Didn't he hold up 44?
34. They have some funny looking signals.
They
so
do.
Hill will take a seat. Logman back in for him. And I thought I saw another sub come in for Walker, who came in. Street came back in for Walker. There he is. Heidecker to throw it in for the Cats. Gets it to Bowen. Bowen penetrates in the paint, loses the handle, but grabs it. No travel there. To Gam outside the arc.
No matter what the fans wanted.
Right. Heidecker now to the free throw line. Pulls up from 15. Good.
As you mentioned before, he was a spark plug for him in the first. We'll see if he can be the spark plug for him here in the second half as well.
Now here comes some full court pressure. Man-to-man all over the place. Evans gets it in the front court, guarded by Bowen, and he's run into by Chandler. And Chandler will pick up his third. Well, Bowling Green doesn't want to put Clopton on the line as they were 10 for 12 in the first half.
2:17 to go in the third. I say we end the game with nobody in double bonus.
Kuntz for 3, left wing. It's good. Got the inbounds pass from on the assist from Harvey, and he drains a three-pointer. His first 3 of the night. He's got 4, and it's 43-26. Bowen slices down to the paint, puts it up in the crowd, and it drops.
I wanted to hang out on the back of the rim there for a little bit, but either way, felt good.
Charlie Bowen's first bucket of the night. Evans into the front court now, hands it off to Kuntz. Kuntz to Street. Right wing to Evans. Now to Street in the far corner. To Kuntz. I think it was Harvey out front.
It was.
The one gets me confused. Harvey penetrates in, penetrates the paint, turnaround jumper from 10's good. Daniel Harvey met some resistance, spun to his right, and drained the jumper. And it's 45-28, down to minute 20 to play here in the third. Heidecker goes to the right short corner, pulls up from 8, no good. Kuntz with the rebound. He'll look to run. He's got Street with him. Bowen's back. Street goes right by him, shoots the bucket, and the foul. Bowen tried to slide over, didn't get there. And will be whistled for the blocking foul as Street gets the bucket and a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Hill and Walker check back in for Loggeman and Harvey. And it looks like Michael Starks set to come back in the basketball game as well. Well, they seem good. Louisiana boys beat Mark Twain tonight 74-41.
That's a quick game.
That was a quick game.
Street makes the free throw and makes it a 20-point lead for the Hawks. 48-28. Who'd have thunk it?
Not us.
Under a minute to play here in the third. Chandler, right wing to Starks. He'll pull up from 8 and scores. From the short corner, his first bucket of the second half. He's got 6, and it's 48-30. Evans into the front court. Interesting that he handles the ball against the press.
Well, Harvey is on the bench, and that's who normally was handling it, correct?
That's correct.
There you
go. Evans does handle the ball quite a bit for the Hawks, though. He's on a pick and roll with Hill. Gives it to Hill. Hill now lobs it into Walker, but it's too tall for him. And goes out of bounds for the turnover. He and Chandler were tied up over there, and the pass was just a bit too tall.
Just a bit outside.
48-30 our score, down to 15 seconds. Dalton to Bryant, or check that Starks. Starks into the paint, loses the handle to Heidecker, picks it up the loose ball. His three's nearly an air ball. Hawks with the rebound, and they nearly throw it away. Evans is going to save it. They'll give it ahead to Street. He'll shoot it at the buzzer. Oh, in and out. That would have brought the house down. 48-30. The Hawks lead it. Fourth quarter's next on Eagle 102.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service. But did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
Here's one question that has no wrong answer. Are you going to choose the new Shell and Fuel Rewards card to be used at Shell stations, or the Shell and Fuel Rewards MasterCard that can be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted? With both, you save 10 cents per gallon, up to 20 gallons every time you fill up. And you also earn 10% rebates on your first $1,200 in non-fuel purchases per year at Shell stations. See? You can't go wrong with either. Visit www.shell.us/getrewards and apply today. At participating Shell stations only. Terms and conditions apply.
Bringing you all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
I see you're doing lots of math over there.
Maybe I'll leave that to you.
No, you notice I don't have my pencil active here.
I noticed that tonight. You're slacking on me.
I'm
What's
not
up with
slacking.
that?
Jim, I'm running a camera and a scoreboard. I figured the least you could do is keep your own stats.
16-11 scoring advantage for the Hawks in the third quarter, and they stretch it out to an 18-point lead as we start the fourth. Bobcats have it. And they've got a long hill to climb. Starks, right wing to Gam. He'll shoot the three. It's off the mark. Walker with the rebound. Falling down, throws it to Hill. And the Hawks maintain possession. Evans to Harvey, right wing. Good catch by Harvey as that baby was
sailing, wasn't it?
And hot. Street now gets the Hill on the block. He splits the double team, puts it up. It won't go, but there's a whistle and a foul. And will they get Dalton this time? I believe they will. His first. And Hill will go to the line and get 2 shots. 7:32 to play in the game. If you're just joining us, the Clopton girls were victorious. I didn't write down the score. Did you write down the final score?
I did. It was
Good for you.
55 to 31.
Hill misses both of them. Uncharacteristic. And the Cats get the rebound. Starks into the front court now to Heidecker at the head of the key. Guarded by Harvey. Heidecker kicks it out to Gam. Corner three ball on the way. Good.
Nice. Brandon Gann comes in and drains one for the Cats. And now steal.
He does. Steals the ball. Maybe he's going to bring a little energy to the Bobcats. Starks nearly has it stolen away. And it's caught by Daryl Chapman over on the wall.
Because he's over there getting ready to load his pit boss that you want.
I'm going to figure out where he lives on the way home. Steal that bad boy back. I better not say that because then if it comes missing.
I've got it recorded now.
He'll think I took it. Good for him. He just should have cooked us something.
We're waiting. This is not over with yet.
Starks has it now as the Bobcats. They don't have time to mess around like they are, but it is what it is, right?
That's right.
Dalton now to Starks, still running their offense. Right wing to Gam. Gam gets to Chandler in the near corner down to Starks. Starks at the head of the key. Left side to Gam. Gam, far corner to Dalton. And he throws it away. He's going to throw it to Starks, but he went the other direction, and it's going to go out of bounds right at the end of the Clopton bench. Nobody could get there.
No, but Caden Chandler put quite a hustle to get down there.
He's a pretty good-sized guy, too. Got some guns on him. You know what that means, don't you?
I do know what that means.
Okay. They get it into Evans. Evans to Walker. Walker dribbles out of the corner to the wing. Now to head the key to Street. Street. Right wing to Harvey. He'll hand it off to Evans. Down to 6:05 to play in the ball game. Evans on the dribble. They get it to Hill now. He'll shoot the three. It's no good. Heidecker with the rebound. Up to Starks. Starks penetrates in. Has Gam open left wing. His three. No good. Rebound to Walker. 48-33. Clopton still on top. Pass is loose and turned over by the Hawks as they tried to push the ball. Starks open for three. It's no good. Walker with the rebound for the Hawks.
I think it's time to slow it down just a moment.
Well, the Bobcats had a couple looks. They could have made those two. They could have got back in this game. But they trail by 15 with 5:20 to go. They'd like to get it down under 10 by the 4-minute mark if they can. Street now to Evans, into the post to Harvey. Harvey in a double team, tries to pass it through the baseline, but it's kicked out of bounds by Chandler, I believe. And mass substitutions. Niemeyer, Bryant, and Bowen return. Starks, Chandler, and Gam take a seat. Kuntz back in for Street for the Hawks. Evans to throw it in for Clopton, right side of their bucket, underneath. Gets it into Harvey. He'll lob it into Hill. He makes the catch on the block and scores. Had a double team, but was able to get it on the glass. That was too easy. And it's back to 50-33 lead. Niemeyer, right wing to Bowen. He drives to the glass. His shot's no good. He actually goes down. They're going to wave it off. Offensive foul as he ran over the top of Hill. And the offensive foul will be the fourth on Bowen, with 4:52 to play in the ballgame.
Here comes the full court defense from the Bobcats, too.
Harvey takes the inbounds pass, gives it back to Walker. Now to Harvey as they methodically move up the floor. Harvey now with some space, tries to force it inside. It's knocked free. It comes right back to Harvey. His shot's blocked. He'll pass it out. Now Niemeyer with the steal. What an exchange that was. Niemeyer now slams on the brakes, gets it left wing to Bowen. He's open for three. No good. Rebounds loose and inside. Heidecker gets it. He's in a double team. Gets it back to Niemeyer. He'll penetrate in. And a blocking foul is going to be called on Kuntz, I believe.
4 for him?
It is. See, your memory's pretty good.
For now.
Just wait.
I can remember Tyler Kuntz's fouls. That's about all I remember these days.
Street will come back in for Kuntz. And Heidecker will trigger it in. Left side of the paint. Gets it into Starks. Starks penetrates in. His shot off the glass and good. He's got 6, and it's 50-35. Down to 4:10 to play in the ball game. Evans into the front court, gives it to Street, cutting back door. His shot won't go. Rebound still loose, saved in by Niemeyer, and still loose. Evans dives on it, gets it to Street. He throws it away to Starks. Starks is going to have a chance to the bucket. He jams it.
Knocks it down.
Two-handed dunk by Michael Starks. Makes it 50-37. See if that energizes the Bobcats. With 3:35 to play in the game. Evans, left wing to Street. Street to Walker. I will say one thing. They've got Clopton out of their offensive swing. Now they get it into the post to Hill, and he shoots a wide-open layup. Just as I say that, Hill posts up, does a good job pinning the defender. Makes a catch and shoots an easy bucket. Niemeyer back for the Cats to Heidecker, head of the key. Right wing now to Starks. Down to 3:10 to play in the game. 52-37, Clopton on top. Niemeyer penetrates the free throw line, kicks it out to Starks. Right wing to a corner to Bryant. His shot's no good. Niemeyer with the rebound, and he's undercut as he and Evans got tied up. And the foul will go on Evans.
It looks like Niemeyer may have came down his elbow there a little bit.
He's going to try and shake it off.
Going to rub some dirt on it. As Eric Schaefer from Pike County Memorial Hospital gets up, he'll have a little look at it. I don't know if it's his wrist or his elbow.
I think it's his elbow. Probably hit his funny bone. Got a little tingling in his arm.
It wasn't too funny.
Be my guess. He's going to shake it off and stay in the game. Both players going for the ball there, so the Bobcats get it back on the Evans foul, his second. On the inbounds, Dalton gets it to Niemeyer. In between the circles, he'll reset it with 2:50 to play in the game. Left wing to Marcus Starks, who checked into the game, along with
Harrison Hunt.
In the post to Dalton. His turnaround shot's good. Dylan Dalton's got 6. That's 52-39. Full court pressure. Niemeyer swats out the inbounds pass. They'll do it one more time on the far baseline. Walker to throw it in to Street. He'll work it up the right sideline, splits the double team, and Marcus Starks is going to pick up his first foul. And that's the 6th-team foul, so Clopton will shoot free throws from here on out with 2:31 to play in the ball game. This thing's kind of got weird, hadn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Neither team terribly focused right at the moment.
I understand that after watching the girls' game. Bobby and I talked about it. It definitely wasn't the prettiest matchup that we've seen between those two squads either.
And the entry pass to the wing goes off the fingertips of Street, goes out of bounds, back to Bowling Green, and there's a timeout on the floor. 2:20 to play in the game, 52-39. Hawks lead it. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Farmers, the crew at Mike's Tire and Service Center is here to serve you. They know the hours you put in, which makes it difficult to get that equipment in for service. Therefore, they offer on-the-farm tire repair. Hi folks, my name is Cody Kirkendall, Mike's Tire and Service Center, located on Business Highway 61 in Bowling Green.
High School Sports on KJFM is brought to you by Vicky Cadwallader Real Estate and Perkins Electrical Service.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Tony Francis hasn't been happy with the last 3 minutes of this game.
No. I don't even think you have to go out on a limb for it. I think you
called the timeout for a little bit of a
coming to Jesus talk?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So the Cats will get it back, trailing by 13, 52-39, with 2:15 to play in the game. Michael Starks on the right wing now to Niemeyer, to Marcus Starks, left wing. He holds it above his head, puts it on the floor now, kicks it out to Niemeyer, right wing to Starks, and it's stolen away by Harvey. Harvey out of the double team. Gets it back to Evans, right wing to Hill now. As they work around Street. Back to Walker now to Evans. Spins into the paint. His shot's blocked by Dalton, and he grabs the loose ball on the break, tries to throw it ahead, and it's going to go out of bounds off the Hawks.
Well, Mason Street and Riley Walker were both headed there, and I noticed that Riley Walker tried to hold up right there on the line so he could catch it, but he was going, momentum was carrying him out as well.
I'll say one thing, the timeout conversation lit a fire under them. They had people going after it like crazy. Cats maintain possession, however, down to 1:40 to play. Still trailed by 13. Michael drives right baseline, dribbles out of a double team, gets it to Niemeyer. Niemeyer to the block. His shot's partially blocked. It's loose, still loose. Dalton picks up the loose ball. Now to Starks, right wing to Niemeyer. Inside to Hunt. It's swatted free, but Dalton's there to pick it up. His shot won't go. Hill with the rebound. And they'll whip it out of trouble. Evans to Harvey. Harvey into the front court now with 1:10 to play, and Niemeyer runs into Evans. That'll be the 7th team foul, and we'll shoot a 1-on-1.
Gunnar Bryant and Charlie Bowen checking back in the basketball game along with Tyler Kuntz.
Evans to the line. He's got 10 so far tonight. And he's into the line, but not since the first quarter, where he made them both. 1:09 to play in the game, 52-39. Hawks still on top. They've led by as many as 20 in this game. Evans' first free throw is good. He'll get a second. As Street being looked at by the training staff.
Oh, Eric Schaefer taking care of him. Got probably a little scratch on his hand there that he's got to get taped up so he can get back in. Pike County Memorial Hospital athletic trainer.
Second free throw by Evans is good as well. Give him 12 for the night. That's 54-39. Down to 1:05 to play. Bowen dribbles into the near corner. Back to Niemeyer. Niemeyer lobs it to Bryant going back door, but it's stolen away by Hill. Hill had Kuntz all alone, didn't see him. He'll hand it off, and Harvey will bring it into the front court for the Hawks with 48 seconds to play. Walker, far corner to Kuntz, to Walker, and we've got just a timeout to get a sub in.
That's right. They're going to let Evan Loggeman, the senior, come in for Tyler Kuntz. As we mentioned earlier, senior night here at Clopton.
So all the seniors back on the floor for Clopton to finish out the home portion of their career. Well, that's not necessarily true. They could still have a home district game yet.
They will have one home district game for sure.
Down to 35 seconds.
Yeah, Riley Walker kind of fell to the ground there.
Harvey back to Evans. He'll shoot the three from the corner. It's good. Jack Evans.
And they're just doing substitutions again. So they're going to pull them all off and put all JV players on now for Clopton.
As the lead's 57-39, 25 ticks to play. We'll try and cover who all's in the game. Jason Hain, Dylan Horstmeyer. Well, Dylan Horstmeyer's not in the game.
You've got Chase Halls, Tyler Kuntz, Lucas Martin, Cash Evans, and I'm missing the number 20 is Hain.
Jason Hain.
Yep.
Shot up by Bowling Green, no good, and rebound by Chase Hall. With 10 seconds, let's see if they dribble it out here late in this game. Kuntz is going to go in. He'll shoot the layup. It's no good. The rebound by Evans. It won't go. It batted out, and that'll do it for the ball game. The Hawks finish the regular season with a win. They get their 20th win of the season with a 57-39 victory over the rival Bowling Green Bobcats. The Able Quick Shops postgame show is next on Eagle 102.
The Eagle 102 postgame show is coming up, brought to you by Abel's Quick Shops.
Here's one question that has no wrong answer. Are you going to choose the new Shell and Fuel Rewards card to be used at Shell stations, or the Shell and Fuel Rewards MasterCard that can be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted? With both, you save 10 cents per gallon, up to 20 gallons every time you fill up. And you also earn 10% rebates on your first $1,200 in non-fuel purchases per year at Shell stations. See? You can't go wrong with either. Visit www.shell.us/getrewards and apply today. At participating Shell stations only. Terms and conditions apply.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Need a little good news in your life? State Farm has new, lower car insurance rates in Missouri, so you can now get the service and convenience of State Farm agent Cindy Blaylock at an even better price. Call me today at 573-754-5575. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth. Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Time now for the Eagle 102 post-game show on KJFM. Sponsored by Abel's Quick Shops.
57-39, the Hawks win it. Bowling Green led 10-9 at the end of the first quarter, and then the Hawks went to work in the next two quarters, outscoring Bowling Green 23-9 in the second, 16-11 in the third. Both teams scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, and as I said, the Hawks get their 20th win of the season. They're 20-4 as they'll go into districts as the number 2 seed. Bowling Green drops to 6-12, and they've got another week before districts start. As they have any regular season games left? I guess they probably
Bowling
do.
Green?
Yeah, they probably
yes,
do
they've got games on Monday night and I believe on Wednesday night. If I still have that, I don't still have it open, but I know that they play North Callaway, I believe, on Monday night. And I want to say Wright City on Wednesday.
Let's take a look at the scoring, as I'm having trouble with my math tonight.
See, that's what you get for making fun of me.
Go figure, right? For the Bobcats, they're led with Michael Starks with 10, Gunnar Bryant with 8, 7 for Braden Heidecker, 6 for Dylan Dalton, 4 for Brandon Gamm, and 2 for Charlie Bowen. They were 5 for 7 from the free throw line. They turned it over 10 times in the game. For Clopton, several guys in double figures for them. They were led by Zach Evans with 15, 13 for Daniel Harvey, 10 for Mason Street, 8 for Gabriel Hill, 7 for Riley Walker, 4 for Tyler Kuntz. The Hawks were 13 for 17 from the free throw line. 14 turnovers for them. Bowling Green led by 4 early in the game. The Hawks led by as many as 20. And give the Bobcats credit. They fought back, got it down to 13, I think was as close as they got. But they kept fighting till the end, but they go down to defeat in this EMO conference matchup. So the Hawks will finish second in the EMO conference, behind, assuming Montgomery County wins tonight.
Well, and point out Bowling Green plays Fort Zumwalt East, not Wright City next week. They have North Callaway on, I believe, Monday night. They do, and then Fort Zumwalt East. Oh, no, they do play Wright City on Tuesday, and then Fort Zumwalt on Thursday.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back to wrap things up here from a doubleheader night at Clopton High School. You're listening to high school basketball on Eagle 102.
Here's one question that has no wrong answer. Are you going to choose the new Shell and Fuel Rewards card to be used at Shell stations, or the Shell and Fuel Rewards MasterCard that can be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted? With both, you save 10 cents per gallon, up to 20 gallons every time you fill up. And you also earn 10% rebates on your first $1,200 in non-fuel purchases per year at Shell stations. See? You can't go wrong with either. Visit www.shell.us/getrewards and apply today. At participating Shell stations only. Terms and conditions apply.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only one part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact me, Kayla Caldwell, your Edward Jones financial advisor, at 2604 Georgia Street in Louisiana. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Show off your school pride today with the Bulldog debit card from Bank of Louisiana. Every time you use your Bulldog debit card, Bank of Louisiana will make a donation to the Louisiana School District. Stop by the bank today and get your new Bulldog debit card so you can start supporting the teachers and students with every swipe. The Bulldog debit card from Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for ego. Power beyond belief.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102 is brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock, Young Enterprises Incorporated, and Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Welcome back to Clopton High School, where we wrap up the regular season portion of the season for the Clopton Hawks. And they win both the girls and the boys game against one of their arch rivals, the Bowling Green Bobcats. Hawks played well in both games.
They did. You know, there were times that Bowling Green on both sides of the game, boys and girls, both times, games at Bowling Green looked like they were about to get back into the game. Of course, for the boys, it was back and forth there for the first quarter and a half for quite a while. But in, I guess, typical Clopton fashion, once they start on that roll, they seem to maintain that momentum and carried it with them through the end.
So tune in tomorrow as we'll have a couple of district games for you on the radio, I guess.
That's right. We'll have them on the radio, of course.
One of them will be on the radio, and the other you'll have to listen to online because you can't listen to two games on the radio at the same time.
No, we're going old school. We will be doing game breaks. Everything will be on the radio tomorrow. So we will be.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, we will. It is straight old school. Jim, kind of like we just did, like 4 years ago.
I remember
5 years.
those days, yeah.
So, yes, actually, Mark will have what we're calling the primary game between Silex and Sturgeon. I will be at Van Far providing game updates, game breaks of the action from Van Far and Wellsville. So, again, on air at 102.1, online, and you just have to hit listen live at kjfmradio.com, on the KJFM Radio app, and on Alexa.
Another score for you. Louisiana defeats Mark Twain in the boys' game 74-41. The first game here tonight. The girls for Clopton beat Bowling Green 55-31. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Tune in tomorrow. Thanks, Brendan, back at the station. Is he doing it tonight?
He is. We'll throw out that Mark Twain girls picked up the win over Louisiana as well.
That they did. Marianne, Bobby Spoonster for sitting in with us tonight. This is Jim Ross. Final score, Clopton Hawks 57 and the Bowling Green Bobcats 39. So long till tomorrow.
You've been listening to Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Join us each week as we bring you the best of Area High School Sports on air at 102.1, online at kjfmradio.com, and on the KJFM Radio app. You can find a full recap of scores online and daily during Eagle 102 Sports, all from your area sports leader, KJFM Radio. From KJ